Internet, welcome back to the Fast Travel Lounge. My name is Patrick, you're listening to the Spoilercast, that's right, the long awaited episode. There's no number for this one, it's a Spoilercast. Get ready for a romping good time through Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Joining me on this exceptionally fast travel through this lounge, Saif and Steve. Say hi, everyone.
Hello, hola, ciao, and bonjour.
Hello, I have put a spoiler onto my ass so I don't get enough lift when I'm driving fast. Hey, that rhymes. All right. That was funny.
Wow, those went in completely different directions. Saif, gotta ask, how many times did you practice that in the mirror?
None. I just wrote it on a notepad and just winged it.
Did you have a fallback plan if you fucked it up partway?
Absolutely not. I would have just had to live with the shame.
Okay, cool.
I would have fixed it in post.
So, a question. We'll start with the question for Saif, actually. Obviously, there are three people here. One of us is missing, an imposter among us, perhaps. Josh couldn't be here. The question for you, Saif, is throwback to the tier list that we made. Is there a particular tier that you think Josh would not be in?
Not be in.
Yeah.
He definitely wouldn't be in. He's here.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking. Is there a particular tier that you think he would fit in?
Probably blatantly racist.
Okay, good. No, I'm just making sure we're on the same page. No, good on you. Yeah, same wavelength. This is the, I guess, technically second time we're going to try and do a more spoilercasty style episode. So, Round the Lounge gone, banned, out the window for this week. If you want to listen to the Round the Lounge and news section, go to basically every other episode we've done. I think the only other one that we did was Arceus, which has been lost into the void. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that. It's on a broken hard drive disk, never to be recovered.
I thought it was in someone's ass. Yes.
Oh, sorry, Pokemon Legends Arceus, because I know you made such a big fucking deal about that.
Because it's up someone's colon.
Yeah, good one.
Got him. Cool. So why don't we preface this? Because this will be the first spoilercast that people can actually listen to. At least until we try this round two with probably better format. But hey, that hasn't stopped us before. Why would it stop us now? Cool. Why don't we, instead of the Round the Lounge segment, just give maybe like a minute sort of overall impression, and then we'll go through some talking points and get some discussion going. But Steve, starting with you. Is there like a way that you could summarize your thoughts on Scarlet Violet in like a minute-ish?
You know what? I'll give it to you in 5 seconds. I really liked it.
Okay. Is there something else you want to do with the last 55?
No, but not yet anyway. My thoughts are too complex and nuanced to get more than 5 seconds. So let's just say I really liked it. And you know what? I think that's it, fellas. Wrap her up. We're done.
Yeah, cool. Easy spoilercast. Fastest spoilercast of our lives. We should probably also hint at where we are up to within Pokemon as context for where we are coming from with whatever opinions, views. Actually, question for Saif, as the editor, should we be disclaiming that the opinions of the co-hosts of their own and in no way represent the view of Fast Travel Lounge, the entity, sponsored by Krispy Kreme?
You know what? No, I think that by the end of this, we have to come up with a decisive decision on what we as a group think of the game.
Okay, I'm just going to have to take you aside for a quick sec. We've done like 70 episodes. When the fuck has that ever happened?
Never.
Yeah, I hate that idea.
No, because this is a very special, everyone's talking about this game all at once, I feel like we should do that, and that has to include, for the sake of Josh not being here, we have to make sure that his opinion is covered as well. So we decide what he thinks of that game.
Cool. Quick question, Saif. Did you mean to just lock the door of the room that I'm in? Is that? Now I see the windows are shutting as well. Is this your doing? Is this a lock them in the room until we come up with an opinion type thing, like the getting two dogs acclimatized to each other?
Yeah, no, just ignore the gun that's in the middle of the room as well.
The one that's slowly rotating in my direction.
Yeah, that one. Just pay it no mind.
Cool. I'm just gonna shuffle around a couple degrees. Okay. Right, cool. Well, you liked it, Steve. Saif, your sort of minute-long thoughts and where you got up to. Actually, sorry, Steve, where did you end up with Scarlet Violet? You finished it, yeah?
Yeah, I completely finished it. As of about 3 hours ago, I've completed the Pokedex as well. So I'm very, very, very chuffed about that. So as soon as... Well, now I'll focus on getting a living dex ready, so when Pokemon Home comes out, it goes in. There you are. That's it. Don't have to spend a single more second more playing a very good game.
Sweet. We have lots to expand on in there. Saif, what about you?
Yeah, so I haven't finished the Pokedex. I've got about 50 Pokemon left, less than that. Most of them are going to be Violet exclusive stuff or stuff that I have the final forms of and need to breed for the baby versions of them. But no, I've done basically everything else that the game has to offer, and I think it's good, albeit the Switch is holding it back so much.
I have some thoughts about that, but let's talk about that later.
What about you, Patrick? Thanks for there we go. Thanks for putting up what I was laying down, Steve. It's funny. I finished the game. Probably a month ago now. Finished it the fastest out of all of us. Put it down and basically haven't picked it up again. I am 300-ish out of 400 on the Pokedex. Got to the credits. Did basically all the end game content. I'm assuming as far as I can tell, the only things that I have left to do are 6-star raids, but I just have a strong dislike for people in general at the moment. And collecting the rest of the Pokedex. So I guess we're all in a similar spot, which is good. One final thing that I want to quickly poll the group on. It may Scarlet Violet may be your favorite game now, but until you played Scarlet Violet, what was your favorite Pokemon game? Just so that people can see which of us have the trashiest of tastes. I'll go first. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, favorite games.
Man, even over Emerald?
Even over Emerald.
What about that Battle Frontier?
Yeah, so as sore as I am over that, thank you. It's now going... there's a Pokemon legend going straight into my colon thinking about that. Even with the Battle Frontier included, I loved what they did with Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Admittedly, that does hinge on having played Gen 3, and a lot of that is the nostalgia glasses, but I will stand by that.
No. I'm going to interrupt you on that one. I think Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are really up there. They're not my favorite, but I think they're fantastic games, and I haven't played Gen 3 originally as nostalgia. I just think they're really strong games in general.
So you're okay with that much water?
I am 100% okay with that much water. In fact, I think IGN are cowards and there should be more water.
Underwater level, go. No, fair enough. Saif, okay, so it's high up on your list, or S, but what would your favorite Pokemon game be before, or it could even be Scarlet Violet?
I think I'm going to go with Pokemon Black and White 1. I really like the additions that Black and White 2 do to the post-game. But as just a general running through the game from start to finish, I really enjoy Black and White 1 the most. And I really liked Game Freak's decision at the time to just go, you know what? We're throwing out the national decks until the post-game. Go and learn to love new Pokemon. Because I see so many people I always fall back on my favorite Pokemon. And it's like, no, it's a new region. Make new favorites. And the game forcing you to do that was a really good move.
Cool. And Steve?
Okay, so my take is maybe a bit controversial and a bit jaded as I've gone on. I would have said Diamond, like Diamond and Pearl, or even Platinum, because that really fixed a lot of things. But playing last year, the remake of Diamond and Pearl, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I think it might have changed it.
It went the other way.
Yeah, time has not been good to those games, and I did have to go and replay it when I was doing my living decks about 4 or 5 years ago. And maybe because I played Platinum, it was a bit different than actually going back and playing Gen 4 itself. But I'd probably say Black and White as well. Those are fantastic. I think my big problems with Gen 4 are probably a lot of the quality of life stuff that do get fixed up later.
Like HM usage?
HM usage, repeatable TMs, Pokemon placement as well. There's 7 or 8 good Generation 4 Pokemon, which is
There's 3 fire types in the whole game, right?
2.
2? Jesus.
And one of them is a Gen 1 Pokemon. I do
the other one's an oven.
Yeah, that's true as well. Can't even get that until Platinum. It does a lot of good things, but yeah, Black and White 1, I think, is probably my favorite.
Okay, cool. I'm glad that we have such a diverse range of opinions. Steve, next time, if someone says you're one, just say something else.
I'll just say Gen 4 next time.
No, just go with Gold and Silver. You know you want to.
I'm not going to say that. He said best, not worst.
Now, come on. Red, blue, and yellow exist.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyone want to step into the mind of a sociopath and try and think of what Josh's favorite gen would have been?
Gen 7.
No, I think his might actually be Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
I'm pretty sure it is too, actually.
So Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I put on a different category than Gold, Silver, Crystal.
Because it is still a different game from the originals.
It's a lot better game than the originals. It suffers from the same problems, but it does a couple of things a bit better. But then at the same time, I reckon his favorite game is Gen 7.
I think specifically Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, right?
Yeah, actually, specifically, you play a normal Sun, and then 2 days later you play Ultra Sun, and it's like, wow, this is the same fucking game.
So you know that gun that was pointing at Patrick before? When Steven was going on his tirade about Gen 2, it was starting to point to him, but now it's going back to you, Patrick.
Yeah, I did notice that. I am starting to sweat a little bit more, but hopefully we can swiftly move on before the gun manages to rotate all the way around to shoot me and my dumb opinions in the face. So Scarlet Violet obviously came out a month ago. We meant to do this
a month ago.
Also a month ago. Anyway, so this is we're up to Gen 9 now, yeah?
This is Gen 9.
Sweet. The Paldea region. So why don't we start with people's thoughts on the story of the game? That seems like a logical place to start this off. I'll kick the discussion off with, there wasn't really one.
There kind of was, but okay. I'm going to break this up a little bit. So we've got the game advertised 3 storylines, and so you get the normal gym challenge, which there's no story. It's just you going through the gym and meeting all the gym leaders, which I do think are great characters this time around. Like, they give them a little bit more time to breathe and like introduce them as characters through like their gym challenges, or just being like their little bits of dialogue, and they get a little bit at the end of the game to like kind of flesh them out a little bit extra, which you don't usually get. So gym leaders in this, really good. They're more fleshed out as characters, but it's not really a story for the gym challenge. Then you get the Team Star stuff, which I thought was a really good story. Like, you kind of see where it's going, but seeing it
literally the first second of like the Team Star thing, I'm like, I know exactly what happens here, and everything turned out to be right. But it's not saying it's bad, it's just predictable.
Yeah, it's predictable, but it does it in a nice way, and I think the ending cap off is really nice for that. We'll discuss it a bit more, but I'm just kind of doing quick breakdown.
I just slot something in here. I realized that while we called this a spoiler cast, I didn't explicitly state this. There will be spoilers. So if the name wasn't clear, feel free to either finish the game or listen and then pretend to be surprised when you're playing it in front of people and you're going through it organically. So, okay, cool. Just had to get the official disclaimer out of the way when we're already fucking 15 minutes into this thing. But figure it's better later than never. Better late than never, which also applies to Josh if he randomly shows up during this, but we'll see about that. Anyway, Saif, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, and then we get to the Titan one, which is where I feel like the bulk of the story kind of happens as you're going through. And then following through that, the Titan story actually goes into a 4th storyline that happens after you clear all 3 of those. And I think overall, like, the Titan through to the end game story is some really good shit.
And so, you know what's even funnier about that? The fact that the way I played the game, the way that Pokemon, this was not the way Pokemon or God intended the game to be played, but I went and did all the Titans first. And so then I started the 4th storyline where they say, we just need to collect. I don't remember what the line is, but it's like, we need a really strong trainer. And it was like, gee, wonder who that's going to be.
Yeah.
We need someone who can help provide support and logistics. And we need a brilliant technical mind. And the dumbest part is that because you're already speaking to... Oh, man, this is terrible. It's been so long since I've played it, I've actually forgotten all their names.
Arvin.
Yeah, so you're speaking to Arvin. Yeah, your rival's name is...
Nemona,
and...
Nimona.
Oh, yeah, it's Nemona, not Nemona.
I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. Who knows? There's no voice acting.
I would have said Nimona. Yeah, true. We're going to get to that. And then Penny as the I guess the head of Team Star. So the thing is, I finished the Titan storyline first, and your 2 dialogue options in response to Arvin is let's recruit Nimona, or do you think Penny will help us? And so I, without having done any of the other storylines, see those 2 and go, wait a sec.
Well, the Nemona one is fine because he says we need a champion level trainer, and you start off the game knowing she's a champion level trainer.
That's fine, but
it's the second one that's like,
it's the second one, which I don't know about you, but it felt like they were trying to make it seem like a storyline that had a surprise twist in the end. Unfortunately, the surprise twist was announced on the box. in my case, which really put a different spin on it, because everyone's going, oh, I wonder who it is. I wonder how the story's unfolding. And meanwhile, my fucking character, my mute character, is just sitting there knowing how all the dots join together. So the story did not play out the way Pokemon or God intended it to for me. And I think it was worse as a result.
It's funny that happens as well, because I'm pretty sure the Team Star one is the last one you're meant to finish as like a level requirement thing. I think Emmy is her name, the fighting Team Star leader. She's the
wrestling lady.
Yeah, I really like her as well. She's a great design, but I think she's the highest level requirement before the Elite Four.
I can't remember, but I think so, yeah. The way that I see it is this is essentially 3 distinct stories and they come together as a whole. And that's why I think it probably works in favor. Like if this game was more linear and was like you'd be doing something and it's like, oh no, a Titan's there. Like just after you beat the gym, I think it'd be a lot more intrusive. But because we'll probably get into about later with the open world, but because the world is open and you can do essentially whatever you want, whenever you want.
That's kind of how I played it though. I did a couple of gyms and then I'd hit up a Titan or a Team Star base and I kind of progressed all of the stories along roughly at the same time.
Yeah, and that is probably the happy path to playing the story. And I think if I was to go back through the game and play it that way, that would have been the best for the kind of delivery of the story. The problem that I think happens is that because they have 3 main stories, it's not like think about like I would say Skyrim as an example, but I actually haven't finished Skyrim even with all the different versions available to me. Still waiting to play it on my smart fridge. With Oblivion, for example, there's the main quest line and then there's the open world. And so I went and did basically everything in the game and then started on the main quest line. And because of how I leveled up, the main quest line was way too hard. I was way too young to figure out what I was doing wrong, and so I gave up. But the point is, Pokemon has treated all 3 story directions as the main story. And so it's not like there's this obvious main story that you do and then the side stories that you kind of fill up on. It's that most of the story is delivered through the Titans. And so I got all of the story basically out of the way at the start. And so then the rest of it is me just gallivanting through Paldea. And that doesn't work if you only have major storylines available. Like there's no real kind of side story to it. And so to get to the end of one of them, being the Titans one, and then it's saying, oh, you want to continue, you want more story? Just finish the other main story quests as well, and then you can get more story. It just seems like if they wanted to do open world better, that they shouldn't treat everything that you could do in the open world as a gate to the next thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's only a gate to the last thing, in my opinion anyway. Like it seems like it's if you do one all the way, it's probably, that's not how it wants you to play it, which is unfair to be honest. If you treat it as side quests, if you're treating any of those different ones as side things, the game obviously doesn't like that. It treats it as 3 things you have to unlock to get the final thing.
Yes.
And I guess there's probably a larger question on is after you complete those 3 main quests, is that the real main quest or is that post game?
I think that's the ending of the game.
So when credits roll is when you think the game should end, or at the end of the 3 storylines before the 4th one?
No, at the end of the 4th one, when the credits roll. That is like act 3 of the story. That is like actually the ending. Everything else leading up to that is kind of like act 1. So your journey is like act 1. Each
the hero's journey.
Yeah. Each ending of those paths is kind of act 2, if you like put them as one big chunk. And then like the 4th storyline is like the ending act 3.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that's an entirely valid way of seeing it. My issue is that the game, because the game lets you do all 3, there's no guardrails to like there's no it sounds like a weird complaint, but it's like because the game lets me get away with it, it then becomes a challenge to play it that way, knowing that it's not the happy path. It's like an efficiency thing. Like,
okay, no, I see. No, I see where you're getting at now. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would be okay with the game, like I will be completely upfront. I basically just soft reset until I bet the 5th Titan. I was way too underleveled, and I picked the Fire Starter. That's not a good combo for taking on was it Dondozo and the sushi one.
Tatsugiri or whatever its name is.
Yeah, and whatever the correct name is here, Seth will put it in post. Thanks, Seth.
You're welcome, Patrick. Note to future me, don't do that and make him look like an idiot.
Note to future me, fire future Seth. But the thing is, the game incentivized me to play it that way because the game said, "Oh, you've beaten a Titan Pokemon. You get a mobility upgrade that fundamentally alters the way that you interact with the map."
Yeah, and you kind of want to get all of those so you can move around the map a lot easier.
That's the problem. If I hit Dondozo and I knew that the reward for Titan Pokemon was let's even say more story. Let's say hypothetically we invert the Starbase and the Titans as how the story plays out. I would not try as hard as I did to beat something I was clearly underleveled for if I knew that the reward was story, because it doesn't matter when I hit that story, it doesn't change how I play the game. Knowing that I get mobility upgrades from one of the stories immediately changes the efficiency calculus for how I want to approach the rest of the game.
Very, very true.
That I do count as a problem with how they designed the game, because the game shouldn't force me into making that choice, which is weird to say from a meta thing because I was the one in control of that and I could have gone and done anything else. But the moment I stopped wanting to go after Titan Pokemon, it's, okay, but what's the next mobility upgrade? Is there something that would stop me from getting that item I can see up on that cliff there? Blah, 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 blah.
The benefits you get from the Titan Pokemon farly outweigh the benefits of anything else. So why would you do everything else? Like, it's almost like it's dangling the carrot, but you can just keep going. You can just pick up the carrot and then pick up the next carrot. Like, it's not, The only counter argument is the leveling. And you probably, if you do encounter a Titan Pokemon that's a bit too level, the game probably assumes, maybe do some other things and then come back. But
yeah, and they also want you to do the gyms so that you're able to level up, catch higher level Pokemon. But at the same time,
that one did bite me in the ass.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like they only stop listening to you if you've caught them over this level. If you've trained them up, then you're safe. So you could just power level a bunch of Pokemon up to level 50 to take on that final Titan, and you'd be fine, kind of.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the distinction, because that was exactly my position. I ended up sending out Veluza?
Yeah, Veluza.
Veluza fish.
Oh, is that a water psychic one? That's mad one.
So I caught it at a level, because I did the Titans first and then Gym second, at a level that it would not listen to me on. Tatsugiri's sitting there on like 1 HP, and Veluza's just like, I don't know, I kind of don't want to listen to you right now. And it's like, I'm down to just my Veluza, everyone else is dead, it just needs to do any attack. It just needs to gently push it over and it will die. And I failed because Veluza just refused to listen to me. So that did bite me in the ass, but that was still, again, because I knew I could do it, I just needed better, I guess, luck with it listening to me. It still made more sense to just keep trying it to get the last mobility upgrade, which, after having gotten it, was worth it, because it meant that I could actually do anything on the map that I came to when I was exploring the rest of it.
Yeah, no, because doing that last one, I think, gives you swimming, and there's so many...
No, other way around. Last one is rock climb, or like wall climb.
Yeah. Swimming is the second one. Yeah. Bombardier, I think. That bird stalk thing.
I think you get a big jump, then...
No,
they're all tied to which Titan you beat, right?
Yeah.
It's not in order of, like, the first one's going to be this, the second one's going to be this. It's like...
Yeah, because I didn't get swimming for a little while. I think that was the fourth one I got.
Oh, fuck, that would have been frustrating, guys. I think that was like the first one I got and I just accidental.
But yeah, no, I think the only way to kind of have fixed that problem is if, instead of tying the movement abilities to finishing the Titans, they rather did it as you've cleared X amount of challenges throughout the game, so here's a movement upgrade.
Yeah.
At that point, I don't know what you do with the Herba Mystica as like your incentive to go through them, because the movement abilities were the incentive to go and take out the Titans. They'd have to think of something else.
It doesn't have to give you anything. It's the sake of progression. Like
and I'd also say that the Herba Mystica, like, the story with Arven, yes, it revolved around the Herba Mystica, but you could completely remove the Herba Mystica link with your legendary, and that's still a compelling. Like my favorite
It's
part
still
of
a
the
compelling story,
is Arven's story, and that was great. And it was a shame that I got it out of the way immediately. But that I don't think that's necessarily an issue. Having to tie Herba Mystica to the movement options, I think.
Yeah, because I think Team Star doesn't really give you anything except TM materials.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gives you a couple of TMs that you can actually buy in that shop for league points.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, do we want to use that as a good pivot to actually exploring the world?
I think so. I'm basic. I guess not quite yet, because we should touch on what the fourth storyline is. We've kind of danced danced the other three, but
we haven't even really touched on what the actual stories of each three of them are. We've just kind of danced around them.
That's true.
Right, but this is also coming from the context of a spoilercast, right? This is probably for people who played it. I don't think we need to rehash out everything that happens.
True.
It's somewhat our thoughts and opinions having played through it and what that results in. But I guess if you wanted to give a quick rundown of the three, you're welcome to.
No, it's fine. We can go ahead. I do want to like full on spoil something that happens in the fourth storyline though that I thought was really cool.
You might as well do that now because we're talking about fourth storyline.
No, because it's right at the end, so we might as well just go like quick rundown what the fourth storyline is first.
Okay, cool. So the fourth storyline, once you've finished everything, you get to go to the midnight zone. Sorry, the Twilight Zone.
The big crater in the fucking middle of the map that everyone's like, whoa, man, don't go there. I'm like, fuck, I really, okay, if you say so.
Yeah, the entire game, they just spend the entire time going, Area 0 is off limits. People fucking die there.
Which is amazing because I guess no one dies anywhere else in Pokemon ever.
Well, yeah, that's towards the end. Like, I get the feeling we're going to touch on that as well. But it's obvious, well, for me, and maybe this is just because I'm a 3,000 IQ person that's played Pokemon before. Like what?
The wrinkled of brains.
The wrinkliest brain you think is 100 years old. Like the second they said in the first 10 minutes, whoa, Area 0 is dangerous, don't go there. And I'm like, okay.
Post game.
Yeah, like I'll see them soon.
It's going to be the end of the game.
But it makes sense from like the world building. Like I think they say it's like, okay, cool, you guys all go on your treasure hunt, enjoy it.
But don't fucking go to Area 0.
Yeah, which would make sense. Like, they've got a duty of care to tell the kids don't go into that place. It's like got the Pokemon level 60 and you've got like a starter that's like level 6 at this point. You get flogged. Yeah, like it's just a... But then, I don't know. It's one of those things like they needed to say it for world building, but like as the player, it was like, well, all right, I'll see them soon. That's obviously going to be the last step of the game.
Yeah, I did kind of like it as world building though, because that to me is a similar thing as like I don't buy that that's a valid criticism because that's the same way that Gen 1, I think, lets you see the start of either Victory Road or Pokemon League. I forget which one. And there's just a dude blocking it, and they're just like, yo, you
show me your badges, yeah.
Listen up, chump. You're gonna die if you go this way. Or same thing with Cave of Origin, the guy protecting Mewtwo by I think Cerulean.
The Cerulean Cave.
Yeah, and the guy's just like, yo, there's this crazy powerful Pokemon in here. He will fuck you up if you're not ready. So yeah, I put it all in the same sort of boat.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. I think it's just more of it's probably a me thing. Actually, the more I think about it, it's a me thing.
It's kind of valid in the sense that they keep harping on about it rather than saying, oh yeah, no, if you go to Area 0, you die, and then never bring it up again. You're just like, ooh, that's ominous. But it's the fact that they keep hammering it, like whatever you do.
Yeah, I also don't feel like they really harp on it throughout the entire game. It's just right at the very beginning when they're setting up the game. They're just like. Yeah, maybe I'm forgetting some parts, but yeah, it's like at the very beginning.
Yeah,
they say it numerous times.
Yeah,
and there's a bunch of books if you explore like the not the library, but like the sort of the central area where the school is.
The lobby.
The lobby. That's exactly what it's called actually. If you explore that, there's like a bunch of books that like talk about the Paradox Pokemon, and they're in Area 0, and there's this exploration that went to Area 0, and like everybody got like. One person got like mortally wounded, so they had to sort of like call it early.
Speaking of fucking books, when they give you the storybook,
oh my god, yeah,
and it's in your key items, I immediately wanted to read it, and
same,
and the game's just like, oh yeah, there's some interesting dialogue and pictures in here.
You've played through this book.
It's like, yeah, great, thanks. I wanted to read the lore book.
then meanwhile the game decides that it shouldn't flesh out the key item that holds like the history of all of the mysteries and secrets surrounding Area Zero, but God forbid you don't have to attend like 25 fucking classes with full-on fleshed out cutscenes where people teach you the dumbest shit.
Oh, I actually went and did all of those as they were popping up, so I didn't have as bad of a grind as you did. And
yeah, see, I did the cram at 2 a.m. before the test type study session where you just go through every lesson beforehand, and that's how I know that they keep harping on about F-Zero, god damn it.
Area
Zero for too long, because every second or third teacher's just like, oh yeah, so here's how to do basic math. Also, stay the fuck away from Area Zero.
I feel like that's just a history teacher that does that, but maybe I'm wrong on that.
No, you're probably right. It's just because I did all of the classes at once.
Yeah.
I did not see the outside of the school for multiple in-game days. So it was probably just because history was bleeding through the rest of them.
Speaking of the school though, like actually having all of the teachers as fleshed out characters that you kind of do Persona style social links with and get their stories on, that was also really fun.
It was, but to return to the fourth storyline for a quick sec, just because conscious of time and the fact that we're going to end up tangenting... There will be a tangent back to that later on.
Fair.
But fourth storyline, you go in and Arvin's like, can you help me find my dad? And then you being the good...
Because my version was the mum.
True. The inferior version is the mum, not that women are inferior, just that Scarlet, the game was inferior.
I don't know, but we'll get into that in a different topic.
We've set up so many, we'll get into that. So I really hope we follow through. So I will talk through my experience. I really loved the story aspect of the fourth storyline. I fucking hated the gameplay.
Really?
Yes. Yes. That is such a fucking long journey. You go through all those fucking bullshit research stations.
It is bullshit that Koraidon and Miraidon are too scared to come out of their Pokeballs at that point. But I also feel like if they were out of the Pokeballs, you'd blitz through that in 5 minutes. And in general, I felt like it took maybe 20 minutes, and I just kind of enjoyed the slow descent down Area Zero with everyone and having all their little dialogue boxes come up, even though it should have been voice acted.
Yeah.
And don't worry, speaking of setting shit up, we were going to touch on the fucking voice acting, I swear to God. So Seth, I get where you're coming from. I do. I actually agree with you. But this is where I think one of the biggest, like, red flag down bad game design decisions was made. All through the game, you have Miraidon or whatever Scarlet
Koraidon.
Wait.
Verizon, if you're dependent if you're selling a company with.
It's
T-Mobile
Koraidon with a K.
All right, Koraidon and Miraidon. All through the game, you do have them to rely on. I agree that the fourth storyline should be where you can no longer use them. 100% agree. The problem is, if there is something that you want to explore, it's very fast because you are used to and expect the speed of having Koraidon and Miraidon to go and check it out and come back. I got so sick of thinking there might be something that I don't want to miss on the descent, and therefore walking for like 45 seconds at the casual like walking pace of your character, going, oh, there's nothing here. Oh well, and then walking the 45 seconds back to the main path again. So I totally agree that they should let you enjoy the moment of the fourth storyline, but they completely fucked it by making it open world and not giving you any sense of like a way to orient yourself, because it just became a chore. And I don't know if you guys got hooked on this as much as I did, but the little glints on the ground for the first 10 minutes to me made me think, oh, they put items here.
Yeah.
No, instead it's just shitty game design that they reused the same effect. And so the training that you have for all of the hours of Pokemon you played until then go out the window because you don't have a way of exploring quickly. You don't have a way of orienting yourself quickly. It's an open world that you don't really know the limits of. And if you want to explore, everything is so fucking slow.
You want to talk about bad game design as well? I think it was horrible that they didn't do a map in there. Like, you have your mini-map the entire game, and then when you get to Area Zero, it's just your dot on top of the crater.
If you had fallen off of one of the platform, I never tried it because I was scared that it would let me, but if I'd fallen off of one of the bridges and then and realized that the research base was back, at the end of one of the bridges that I was going towards, I would have zero clue how to get there.
Yeah.
I would have no idea how to get back to the happy path. And that actually happened when I got to the third or fourth research station and I'm starting to go into the underground section. I actually did get lost because I was exploring and battling / trying to catch Paradox Pokemon for a little bit of that. And then I realized that I got turned around and it took me 2 minutes because I'm walking at a fucking snail's pace to figure out where I was. And that was by walking back to the research base.
Yeah, it definitely feels like stapled on. Like I would sort of be able to forgive is probably a strong word, but I could understand it if after you complete the fourth story, I would understand if they give you a map afterwards and be like, yeah, cool, you've actually got a map here. Like you are able to ride the legendary Pokemon afterwards, and that sort of does help for exploring it after the fact. But that
and there
first
are
time
lots
you're in
of
there,
things that you can get by gliding around or climbing up walls.
It's not like as if it's just like 2 paths and you're there. It is a very big area. There is a lot of different Pokemon to catch. There is those Paradox Pokemon can only be found there. Some of the Paradox Pokemon can only be found in very small sections of it.
Yeah, there's this weird cave hidden behind some rocks, and that's the only way you can get to Roaring Moon and Scarlet.
Yeah, well, Iron Valiant in Violet. Like it's weird. Like it definitely feels like I'm not sure if it's like they bolted it on towards the end, but it's the
strangest complaint. But just make it fucking linear, Game Freak.
I think the happy middle ground would have been since your friends are there, don't let you get too far off the beaten path. If you start going somewhere that's going to take you off the story track, have someone say, "Hey, we got to go this way," and then points the camera in the direction of the next research base.
Yeah, that's actually such a good call, Saif. 100% agree.
Yeah, like they could definitely have done something the first time you get there to make it linear, and then when you come back, open it up. Like it's that first time is very frustrating. Yeah, very frustrating.
And so let's just continue with the story. So you go through the 4 research bases, and you discover, your parents are dead. Or I guess not your parents, Arven's parents are dead.
Not parents, plural. I want to make a very specific call here. Only one of them is dead. The other is a deadbeat. They ran off when Arven was a child.
Really? What?
Yeah, there's some dialogue somewhere. I think it's when you're finishing up the Arven's Titan storyline. He says to you that one of his parents left at a really young age, so it was just him, the parents that you have the title for, and Koraidon. And the reason he hates Koraidon is because it went mad one day, attacked someone, and it's that forces a parent to go to Area Zero forever.
Yeah, no, you're right. I do remember that actually at the end of it.
Yeah, that sort of rings a bell. I didn't realize. Of course, he's got 2 parents. Like one of them's obviously somewhere.
So for me playing through that.
So for you in Violet, Asada is the deadbeat mother.
True.
So is that what it is? Is Arturo and Asada the parents of Arven?
I'd have to assume so, since depending on your version, one's the mother and the other's the father. So I'd have to assume that the other parent is the other version's professor.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That makes sense to me. But anyway, so we're playing through it, and then I get to that part where the robot's like, actually, I'm just an AI, courtesy of the movie. Shit, not Eagle Eye. Oh no, the Johnny Depp film. No, the Johnny Depp film.
I don't know that one.
Edward Scissorhands.
No, okay, definitely not that one. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look this up. I really should have had this ready to go. Because it's Transcendence, literally called Transcendence, where the whole thing is downloading your AI and then you die, and then the AI is like a representation of you after you're gone. And so it's one of the few times where I've gotten to the end of the game. I was expecting post-game content in the kind of this is more story, and I wasn't sure whether to prepare for Delta Emerald's episode of this is interesting story, I love this, or Sword and Shield want to punch the two brothers in the face.
Oh yeah, no, they're horrible.
Yeah, so I just wasn't sure what to be prepared for. The idea of a robot trying to substitute for your friend's dead dad, but the robot asks you politely not to tell your friend.
Yeah, that was crazy.
and then the robot's like, oh yeah, because the real one went to at least in Violet's version, went to the future. Died in an explosion. Was it died in an explosion after coming back from the future?
No, they died after the stronger version of the legendary came through.
That's right. But the point being the fact that the game goes from making me hate walking around the open world area in the crater, to your friend's dad is dead, he's been replaced by a robot, there's time travel involved, and whatever you do, don't tell your friend.
Yeah, no, they go full, like, actual RPG story, and I love it when Pokemon does this. Like, part of the reason I love Black and White so much is because the story is a RPG story, and all the characters, as you're going along, are getting more involved, and even the gym leaders are more involved in that game story as you're progressing. And the ending of this just being like, no, here's just an RPG journey where you and your group of friends are traveling through this secret area and uncovering the mysteries of what goes on here. It's all peak RPG stuff, like not just peak Pokemon, but in the genre in general.
It's peak JRPG stuff.
Yeah.
It definitely does sort of seem a bit out there. But does Scarlet, so in Violet, Professor Turo goes 1,000 years into the future or 1,000,000 years into the future, some bullshit like that. Does Sarada go 1,000,000 years into the past?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That I will say, because we're pretty much up to that point, that fight with how like you go to turn the time travel machine off.
That's the part I want to get into in being really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the AI goes rogue and it's like, nah, we're fucking fighting now. That is fucking sick. Oh,
it was
so
the way
cool.
it was the way that it prefaced it as well. It's like, listen, I'm your friend, but as soon as you go for that button, I can't be held responsible for me trying to break your neck with my bare hands.
Yeah, it's like, I am literally going to wreck your shit. Like, so fucking good.
I also love that, like, after you beat them the first time, it's like, it's not just the AI breaking out, but it's like the actual game itself is glitching out on you. Like, you can tell that Nier Automata has changed the JRPG landscape a lot because the first fight is like Professor Sada is challenging you to a fight, and in the second rematch when it becomes the legendary is going to fight you, it starts off saying Professor Sada's going to, challenging you, and then it like breaks down her name and then replaces it with the protection protocol challenges you.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, like I saw as soon as this happened, I instantly knew what had to be done, and I thought it was such a great moment. It's like we've locked all of the Pokeballs except for the one tied to the professor, and you get forced into a battle. Really cool. You get forced into a battle, and it's like you throw out your first Pokeball. It's like, no, it doesn't fucking work. And
yeah,
so
it just like bounces there, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, so the answer, like, as soon as I saw the line of every single ball is locked, it clicked in me what I had to do. You just go into the Pokemon list, and the legendary is right at the bottom of there throughout the UI the entire game. So it's just like, yeah, no, select it and hit send this Pokemon out, and it works. It's like, it's so fucking good.
I gotta pull the group. How many times did it let you? Because it lets you take multiple turns before it forces you into that. How many things did other people try and explore?
I didn't try to explore anything else. I just went straight to the legendary.
Yeah, no, okay. I did the same thing. I knew what it was going to be.
So let me just one up Steve. If he is the 3000 IQ 100-year-old wrinkle brain, I'm the 3001 IQ but smooth brain dumbass. Because that did not connect. Like, I knew that that's what would happen eventually, but I expected the game to take that control away from me. So the fact that the game was still letting me pick options, it was like, what the fuck am I missing? And so it was like, open up bag, open up Pokemon, like try and send other stuff out. And eventually the game's like, look, if only you had a Pokemon that was in a ball tied to the professor.
Yeah, no, because like at the very beginning of the game, they planted that seed by going, oh, hey, this is the professor's legendary. The key item is the professor's Pokeball.
Yeah. No, I get all of that.
That's why you got like 7 in the screen. That's why you're technically holding 7 Pokemon, because 6 of them are yours. One of them is Professor's.
But it was just the way that it was like, here we are at this climax of this super ultimate fight, and the game's just like, Patrick, you fucking moron, just send out Miraidon. It was like, a bag is not useful here. You can't send out these Pokemon. They're locked. You can't run away from this fight. It was like, oh, there's only one option left. Send out Miraidon. He sent out Miraidon. The game can continue. Hooray! And then everybody clapped.
I do like how like they've got like the AI has got like Master Ball and it just like drops it down.
That was sick too.
Yeah. Every single one of their Pokeballs is a Master Ball. It's so good.
Really cool.
They didn't give the Paradox Pokemon any chance. They just sent Master Balls through there and caught them right away.
The future is bright, gentlemen.
And then after such a heart-wrenching story, and Arvin seeing his robot parent and having to come to terms with them, going, you know what? I'm going to live out my dream of going to time period I want to go to.
Oh,
and,
that too.
Yeah, and also giving like a very heartfelt "I've always loved you" to Arvin, like giving him emotional closure even through the AI. Oh man, so beautiful. And then you go from that to a fucking Battle City tournament.
There's one minor gripe I have, and this will probably be the last thing I say on the story. I'll let you guys send your closing thoughts in as well. But the one gripe I have, I figured if Violet sends shit to the future, Scarlet would send shit to the past. Maybe this is the inner physics nerd in me, but feel free to send shit to the future. If you can do that, fine. Future hasn't happened yet. What could possibly go wrong? But if you're sending shit to the past, like the idea that a Master Ball comes back with a Pokemon and then, I don't know, like a building straight up disappears or something because of the butterfly effect from the past, like no wonder we needed to shut down the time machine. That's way too much power. And then in Spain of all places,
Actually, something I wanted to touch on as well is that I feel like for the time machine storyline, it makes more sense for it to be the past. I had this whole theory.
What, you mean from like a conceptual time travel, like the theoretical constraints of time travel? In which case, yeah, you're probably right. It would be easy to go to the past and the future.
No, not that. I mean from like the story point of the game and like character motivations. I think it makes more sense for someone to like look through like Area Zero in general, like. Area Zero is like this weird fucked up place that all these phenomenons are supposed to be happening in. And it's implied that some paradox Pokemon exist there before the time machine is created. So I think it makes more sense for like really, really ancient Pokemon to exist there. Just somehow they survived throughout the thousands and millions of years. And Great Tusk is just kind of roaming around there. Instead of like, it makes more sense for that to be like the jumping off point for the story than rather, oh hey, we went to Area Zero, it's fucked up, what the fuck is this, iron treads?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like that's just like a kind of observation of the story, not like a complaint or anything against it, just kind of like my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, and that's fair enough. Anything else that you want to add to the story? Otherwise we'll throw it to Steve and then move on.
No, I've got really nothing else to say apart from what's the word? The kaleidoscope in the time machine. Fuck, that is sick.
Yeah, it's such a cool looking area.
Like as hard as it was to get to that final fight with the AI, it fucking pays off. Like it is really cool. It's probably one of the stakes are really high. The music's fantastic. The story wraps up in a nice way. I really enjoyed it.
Patrick, I do have one more thing to say. And if you want to pick this up as a segue, you're more than happy to. I'm more than happy for you to do that. I really like the terrestrialization phenomenon as a gameplay mechanic. I really dread what's going to happen.
Gameplay. He said gameplay. We're going to segue.
I really hate it. I really dread what's going to happen with Generation 10 because they tie terrestrialization to the story in this game. And it seems like they're going to move on from it after this generation is done because they very much ingrain it to the Paldea region. And even then, they're probably ingraining it to be taken out at some point. They've already set up that terrestrialization can stop.
I'll be quite honest with you, Seth. Have you played the last 4 Pokemon games? They've
that's
done
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, no, but that's the point I want to hit. Like Mega Evolution was popular, and then they phased it out. Z moves not so much.
Mega Evolutions did exist in Gen 7 though, so that's the only generational mechanic. It's very hard to get them. Like you can only get them in the post game, I believe.
They did, but there was no new ones.
So you're both right. So Mega Evolution was, it just so happens that we're in France, but Mega Evolution is not tied to French people, probably for the best. And then Z moves are specifically tied to the Alola region, which is why you can play Just Dance 2023, in another region, and Z moves don't happen. But you could still get Mega Evolution because you could just import the stone. But then we hit Dynamax Gigantamax, and it's literally like, man, isn't it crazy that this fault line of energy running under England just lets Pokemon grow to massive size and fuck with people's houses at 2 a.m. when they live near gyms?
Pika.
And then likewise the terrestrialization phenomenon being specific to Spain. Both points are valid.
Yeah, it's more that terrestrialization is such a good gimmick that I don't want to. I'm not looking forward to it being replaced by something else next generation, because I feel like they hit a nail on the head with this one. Like, there's all the best parts of Mega Evolution, Z moves, and Dynamax all put together into one.
I agree.
I think it is very different to Mega Evolution, Z moves, and Dynamax. Like, Dynamax is time limited. Mega Evolutions were tied to certain Pokemon, and Z moves just gave you sort of one fucking nuke to throw out. Terrestrialization, in my opinion, makes it seem you're playing 4D chess, which makes it very hard to predict and makes the extra prediction part of Pokemon.
All I'm saying is, if you're not prepared for my air balloon electric terrestrialization shit, that's your fault.
Yeah, that's good. But I'll say one thing: it is very funny to be looking at the discourse on competitive Smogon about...
Yeah, and Smogon's just like, nope, get that out of here.
I watched a 30-minute video on why terrestrialization should be banned, and I pretty much get...
It was 30 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Halfway through it, like, he made all these good points, and he's like, it's too much to predict. It's too much unknowns. And it's like, that's what it is. You're preparing for an unknown you don't know. And
my brother in Christ, you're playing Pokemon.
Yeah, like RNG is one part, and that's just unfair. But
look, when a Pikachu
ways.
Comes out, I know it's an electric type. I don't want to have to predict if it's going to turn into a poison type.
Literally. It's like, oh, it's a ghost type. Oh, it's going to terrestrialize into a normal type.
So specifically, why would that change? They're both weak to ground. Get fucked.
You know what? I just said the first one that came to mind. Fuck you.
Actually, yeah, and electric's only weakness is ground. So. But yeah, I do like the terrestrialization mechanic. I think the way that every single Pokemon can get every single terrestrialization type is fantastic as well.
Yeah, no, that's what I really like about it over Mega Evolution. Like, I love Mega Evolution, but being able to do every single Pokemon is really good, and they have an ability in the game to like let you just change any Pokemon to any terrestrialization type as long as you have the shards for it, which is also a bonus over Dynamax and Gigantamax, because Dynamax was like everything, but then there's a specific group of Pokemon that's Gigantamaxable, and that's a weird thing to do, Game Freak.
Yeah.
Do you know how much fucking those Terra Shards you need to change the type? You need like 50.
Actually.
Yeah.
No, it's 50. It's significantly high.
If you're doing raids, though, you get those pretty easily.
In about 6 or 7 star raids, you get around about 5 to 10, and it's all like RNG on what you'll like drop. So it's like it is very grindy. So I think it more favors people doing raids than it does to change the type. But if you hear the sound of that, that's the sound of the segue to actual raids. Or did we have more to talk about terrestrialization?
I didn't. I think moving into raids is good. I was going to announce that we're finished with the story. So
I guess we're just deep in the gameplay section now.
Yeah, which is fine. You know, there's no mini map. Fuck you, Game Freak. So here we are.
Still angry.
This is the second Titan. We've skipped the gyms and the star raids for now and just gone straight to the second Titan.
And you know what? It's nostalgia to how I played Pokemon Violet. Yeah, I don't have a huge amount to say on raids. I'm glad they are back. I really liked them in Sword and Shield. I like that they are just around the place, and they're kind of dens based on... Like, I like the way that they are split in terms of around the map. You get to find dens of particular types, and then you get to see what is the type available at those particular dens. And then the 5 and 6 star and all that sort of stuff split. Good. I still have the same gripes of as I did in Sword and Shield, in that I basically only played single player. I don't even think I match made with anyone for Scarlet Violet for a raid or anything. But I wish the AI would still be. I wish the AI would still be slightly above Smooth Brain, just because. The thing is, I'm sure playing with actual humans wouldn't have actually changed the outcome a huge amount. I'm sure there are tons of people that just show up with dumb fucking Pokemon choices, but
yeah, and people get very confused about like the Terra type, and it's like they just forget. And it's like, oh, okay, so this Charizard's Terra type dragon, I'm going to bring a water type in. Or a rock type. It's like, no, that's not how it works. It's literally a dragon type now. Come on, big fella, what are we doing?
There's the other way is even worse.
Yeah, like going off the Charizard thing again, it's like, oh, it's a it's a dragon type, I'm going to bring in this ice Pokemon. It's like, no. It still has fire type moves. It still has stab on those fire type moves as well. And the Charizard is just fucked because it always starts off the fight by doing overheat on someone.
And Dash Bun has entered the chat. Thanks for that defense boost, big fella. But I'm broadly in the same mind. The raids are pretty good. I'm still of two minds of whether... So if you're doing it solo, apparently if like the AI's Pokemon faint, it doesn't reduce the timer.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is really good. You can use them as, not really fodder, but they can sort of take a bit more hits. Whereas suppose if you're matching with randoms online and they do dumb shit, Belly Drum Iron Hands. Oh, whoa, no, they've got an attack and they fainted. Whoa, look, they've sent it out and used Belly Drum again. Fucking mad.
I love Iron Hands as a raid Pokemon because it does get through so many things, but I'm so sick of seeing people bring it out against a fucking Charizard. Because it's a steel type. Come on, the Charizard's going to melt it after you do that first Belly Drum.
It's very annoying. But at the same time, that is people. But I do enjoy the raids as a whole. And it does seem like Game Freak has cleaned up how to find random raids and how to join them. There's a screen that comes up in the Poke Portal and there's like 8 raids you can pick from.
Yeah.
8 seems very low and it takes, I think it's like 2 minutes to refresh that. Like it grays out the refresh. Yeah,
that's the part that annoys me the most. How long it takes to refresh it.
Yeah, it's like 90% of the way good. And like 8 isn't enough. There's 400 Pokemon out there and 18 teratypes per Pokemon with 400 times 18, 13 million.
Something I really like about the raid system though as well is that using it through the Poke Portal, you can find, if someone's put them up, you can find the other version's Pokemon as raids.
Yes.
Which helps so much with Pokedex completion.
Yeah,
that's very cool, actually. I like that.
Well, not all Virgin exclusive Pokemon appear in raids, but actually a good amount do.
Yeah, because Salamence and Tyranitar were locked until the events, and now they're gone again. But you could get like Ceruledge and Armorogue through raids.
Yeah. You can even get trade Pokemon as well, like Slowking and Sizzle. That's how I got mine.
Yep,
which is fantastic.
And Gengar's there as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, I think trade Pokemon are one of the worst things in Pokemon. I should not have to buy another game or have to talk to another human being to finish the Pokedex. That's what it is.
It is a holdover from Generation 1 that will never disappear.
Disappeared in Arceus.
That's because that's a primarily single-player game.
Yeah, maybe they should take more hints from Arceus.
And also, it took place before trading was invented.
That's true. That's true.
Like, if you, back in the day, if you traded Haunters, the Haunter would just look at you confused. Or, actually, what was the game where the guy trades you a Haunter holding an Everstone? He's like, haha, gotcha.
Diamond and Pearl, yeah, it's one of the chicks. She's like, did it a Pokemon? Of course it didn't. Shit.
Fucking moron.
I'm going to blast
Hope you like that Everstone.
Yeah, it's holding an Everstone, silly. Oh, that's at Snowpoint City, eh?
I can't remember where it is, but it is.
I'm pretty sure it's up somewhere in like the snowy or icy area. It's like, oh my god, finally I arrive at civilization again, and I get absolutely just roasted by some chick that's trying to trade me a Haunter. Anyway, yeah. Anything else to talk about raids? Otherwise, next gameplay topic I want to discuss is whether the. Sorry, I'll leave it there first. Anything else on raids?
There is one other thing I want to bring up for raids, and that's doing it like with friends has been cleaned up so much as well. The co-op in general for this game has been cleaned up so much. You can open up a lobby and have 3 other friends join you, and all of their raids pop into your world as well. Only they can activate them. But the moment they do, like a little marker at the top of the screen will go, hey, this person started up a raid, press X to join if you want.
But if you miss that notification, there's no way to find it again. Not that I can find anyway. So if you don't, there's like the notification's on for like 5 seconds. And if you like miss it because you're in a battle or something, you have to get them to like, oh, can you escape? Like get out of it and go back in.
Yeah, the only other way is if you're with, like if you're walking side by side with them and click onto their crystal as well, it'll be like, hey, they started up the raid. You can join in on it.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So,
I didn't know you could do that.
To clear out like more efficiently, like all 4 people could spread all over the map and go find their crystals and start them up. And that's a really good way to like just kind of, if you're just going through raids with some friends, that's a really good inclusion to just make it very easy for people to access.
But it do be like that. But yeah, no, sorry, that's all I have to say about raids.
Cool. The next thing that I want to touch on is what our thoughts, what everyone else's thoughts are on having the Pokemon Center, Pokemart, and TM shop all merged into a single block, and that block being the only thing common across all the towns. Because that was sort of an idea that they picked up in, I think, Sword and Shield is the earliest, where you could buy shit from inside Pokemon centers.
No, they've been doing that for a while. Having the shop and Pokemon Center combined. I think it's been since Gen 5.
Gen 6, I want to say. But yeah, no, it's been like that for a while. I know it's fucking fantastic.
Okay, well, that's a relevant point. I guess it's just been a while since I played Gen 6.
To jump off that, though, I really don't like that the only instance of it is that, like, bike stop sort of thing.
Yeah.
I do wish there was more, like, versions of them you could walk inside of. And in general, I think there's only one building on the overworld you can walk inside of, and that really annoys me.
I really like that. It makes it a lot more faster. Like, you fly to there, you literally turn around, you talk to them, that's it. I don't have to go inside, I don't have to walk fucking 6 steps.
I just wish towns had the building.
I don't know. I can sort of see where you're coming from. The towns definitely feel less alive. But when 90% of all the buildings you walk into in Pokemon games is just somebody saying, I've wanked off 30 times today. Like, it's I don't care. Like, I've wasted my time. Like in every town, you've got 1 or 2 houses that are good.
All right, but Steve,
I'm wasting so much time walking in.
To be fair, you've just walked into a stranger's house. If the stranger sees you, a stranger in their house, and say, I wanked off 30 times today, that's kind of on you.
Well, it's on him for saying it. Give me something. Give me your stuff. I'm robbing you. This is a robbery. Give me a job.
That's how he gets you out of the house faster. You don't want to rob someone that's wanked off 30 times in the past day.
Especially in, like, I think it's Gen 1's fucking notorious for it, but in Gen 5 as well, they've got those apartment buildings that are like multiple floors, and nobody, like, there's one building that does it early in the game, and the rest of them, it's just like, I have nothing to give you except some shit trivia. Oh, like, my cousin downstairs is living with me. And, like, I don't care. Give me your stuff. Do you have a rare Pokemon for me? No. Yeah, like, it does make it feel less alive, but I think it for the purposes of playing the game and making things a lot faster, I do appreciate that there is no more going into buildings.
I was initially against the idea that they've stripped out all the insides of buildings, but hearing you put it into context of, you know, what really was accomplished by going into buildings. Yeah, fair enough, but I think you need to compensate for that by making the towns seem like people, you know,
it doesn't feel like that. Unless towns feel very small.
Okay, holy shit. Tangent on that. Who else? I don't remember the name of the first town that you go to or the first Pokemon Center that you can access. But who else saw the Surskits on the pond and were like, catch?
I saw them. I didn't think I could catch them.
No, but that's the thing. I did. And looking around online, a few other people did too. You know what? One of the last... So, as I said, like, ages ago now, I'm at 300 out of 400 in the Pokedex. You know what one of the recent entries to that was? Surskit. Because somehow, despite me looking at it for, you know, multiple minutes at the start of the game going, why can't I catch this son of a bitch? The Pokedex goes, no, you've never seen a Surskit before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like if you've seen it in the overworld, it doesn't count as seeing it.
And that's why that's one of the things that Oras has going for it, because Oras was the first game that I remember playing, maybe it was done in a previous one, where just like in the show, if you see a Pokemon, your Pokedex goes, hey, would you like me to identify that Pokemon for you? And it's really fucking frustrating that for some reason we get to Scarlet Violet and they just forget that ever worked.
You want me to one up that in black and white?
I want to vent, and I want to be the ventiest.
No, because Oras has this as well, but this, as far as I'm aware, this came into existence with black and white too, and has been taken out every now and then. On top of having a Pokédex, you have like a region dex that kind of like tells you in the area you're in. It's like, it doesn't tell you how many Pokemon are there, but it's kind of like, hey, you've caught all of the Pokemon you can here. Here's a little medal to let you know you can move on. Or
Oh, yeah, the Navdex thing in Oras,
yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, and the Navdex needs to come back.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, that leads me into another one-uppy bit. What the fuck is the point of the icons on the minimap?
Just to let you know that those Pokemon are in that area.
fine. But the fact that they are in different spots on the minimap rather than here is the shit in the area made me for the longest time think there should be an Igglybuff underneath the Igglybuff icon.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing. And then as you're running towards it, it's slowly drifting further and further away like some sort of dream.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the icons disappear until you go back into the map, and then the minimap's like, oh shit, you clearly wanted to know what was around you. Here they are again.
Yeah, that happened to me because I was looking for Toadstool, and it's like, oh, I'm on top of the Toadstool icon. Where are they? It's like, no, they're in the area, but where they normally spawn, which is underneath trees. It's just like, you made me walk into the middle of a field. Why didn't you just... Why is this icon working like this?
Yeah, I have a few... That's my main gripe with interactions with Pokemon, but yeah, it just seems like they could have done it in a better way.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of things they can do in this game in a better way.
It seems like... I was going to bring this up a bit later, but this is the perfect time as well. It seems like they had a couple thoughts about things, but they just didn't take it the whole way. Like, at no point, or that I saw anyway, were those icons in the minimap described to you. It takes a couple minutes for the icons to actually appear on the minimap. It's obvious, well, you can find out from just normal gameplay that it's from, that they're Pokemon in the area and it's not where the actual Pokemon are. But, like, why isn't it? Like, it just seems, like, strange. Like, it's like they've taken half the thought, let's put Pokemon on the minimap, but they're for the area, not for the location.
And on top of that too. Yeah, I agree with that. On top of that too, the lack of linking. Actually, so this kind of is tied under the umbrella of shitty Switch performance as my excuse. Well, as what I hope is their excuse for why it works like this. I'm assuming your hypothesis of it being under the minimaps at one stage and then just being in the area is because they realized the Switch performance limitations wouldn't let them actually map it to where they were in the minimap. Yeah. That's my guess, because it seems like they intentionally decided to do it that way and then change its implementation. But on top of that too, I really don't like how long it takes to load the Pokedex and how long it takes to scroll through the Pokedex.
Oh, there's actually a glitch tied to the Pokedex as well, where I got spoiled on some Pokemon because when I clicked over... It clicked over for it to refresh like pages. It showed me like full-on illustrated icons of the evolutions of Pokemon I already own. So I saw Lechonk's evolution well before I evolved Lechonk.
Oinkologne.
Oh god, I hate that Pokemon so much. What a fucking downgrade.
I knew it was going to turn into something shit. They always fucking do.
Yeah, Lechonk was the best of us. He didn't deserve that. But yeah, no, I really wish, and I don't remember Oras's implementation of this, but being able to easily go, here is the Pokemon on the map that I'm interested in. Here is its Pokedex entry, because holy shit, I actually saw my hair going grey between trying to find the Pokemon on the minimap and going, okay, which Pokemon is this? Trying to find it in the Pokedex list, and then opening the Pokedex entry to find it to find its area to get a description of where it would spawn. That loop took way too long.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
And again, I'm just assuming that so much of me waiting was because of how fucking poorly the Switch performed at doing those operations. But
yeah, no, I feel like it's entirely on Switch performance because the Pokedex literally does lag out as you're scrolling through it.
Yeah, the one bounce back that I want to say on the Pokedex though, just while we're there, I love what they did with it in terms of when you add an entry, it's like an action shot of the Pokemon.
Like, it's like a book entering a library. That whole scene is fucking fantastic.
I love that. That was so good. I just wish that it didn't like cripple my Switch every time I did it.
The photographs of every single Pokemon is also fantastic.
Yeah,
they're fantastic. Like, and there's Pokemon with like more than two forms, like Gastrodon or Shellos. That's got both the forms on the page. Like it's just got a lot of character. This game has that's a good way to put it. Yeah, it was very, very fleshed out in terms of the character of each of the Pokemon. Like it really felt, particularly the first couple hours when it was like, oh, what's this? And it's like a new Pokemon that you haven't seen before in the Paldea region, and you got so much from this is kind of how it behaves, this is how it acts, just from the cover image. I really, really loved how they did that. So what I was going to say before is, like, it's, and maybe this is a bit of I was going to save this discussion on the bugs and stuff for later, but as much as it's easy for us all to blame the Switch's performance for it, how much of it is Game Freak biting off more than they can chew.
Oh no, there's so much of that
it.
as well because they released 2 full Pokemon games this year. That's insane.
Oh,
It's 2 full Pokemon games, but it's also like look at what's available on the Switch and then look at what Scarlet Violet does.
You don't even have to look at what's available. I think that going back to Arceus, that looks and runs better than this.
I disagree on the looks. I agree on the runs.
yes. You can.
I think,
I've seen some comparison things.
environmentally, Arceus looks better than this. This game has really bad textures for groundwork and grass terrain and rocks.
Actually, Steve, I feel like we're sharing a brain cell. Why don't you take this one?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like the textures in this, they might be on a similar level to Arceus, but they are much more diverse. Like Arceus looks very plain. Everything looks the same. There's like 3 or 4 textures per map. And I think even the models in this look a lot better as well. Like Arceus runs a little bit better, I'd say, but at the cost of having segmented zones, at the cost of those textures being shit.
For me, like the texture discussion, fine. Just the art style in general, it being more pastel-y and actually colorful and interesting to look at, automatically puts it above Arceus. Arceus, okay, it came out in like March, April. Haven't really played it at all since
January.
Maybe. Really?
Yeah, it's January.
It was the end of January.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay.
Like 2 months. Don't forget it was 2 months after Diamond and Pearl.
To be fair, Diamond and Pearl was a different studio.
It was, but it's just Pokemon fans were eating good.
But my recollection of the art style of that game, other than the copy pasted like GameCube style water texture, is that everything was very grey and very muted in terms of color.
It was a little muted, but it was like watercolor kind of like it was supposed to look like a watercolor painting or like taken out of that sort of era for Japan.
I feel like there's still ways of making the art direction highlight that better though.
Whereas have it pop out. Like I definitely get what you, and it's a very big discussion about the art style choice versus if they've intentionally left it be this bland, then it's just a bad choice. Like I don't pick up on that.
I agree that there's like a saturation boost in this game that Arceus could have benefited from, but I think so much of this is just bland to look at compared to Arceus. Like it's not a pretty game.
Oh, yeah. There are some parts that are pretty good. Some of the towns look not too bad.
Or the places where there's like a sign going, this is a pretty part of Paldea, and you're looking at it, you're like, oh yeah.
All 240p of it.
Yeah.
Vaseline smudged all over the screen.
Yeah. And I sort of do, like the environments do look very diverse, but there are so many glaring pop-in issues.
Oh, God.
So many slowdowns.
Pokemon pop in underneath you as you're traveling on the legendaries, and I hate that so much.
And not even that, but like you're fighting a Pokemon, and meanwhile you're getting fucking rushed by 3 tiny things that you can barely see, and then as soon as you come out of one fight, one of them's just like, hello, and then you go back into a fight again.
You know, there's some things I like about that. Like all the Pokemon basically have their own little personalities, and there's like some of them will all crowded around you, just kind of watching what you're doing, and then as soon as you battle one, they all start to scatter off. Or in Psyduck's case, you're battling something, and then Psyduck runs over and it's like, "Fuck is going on?"
Yeah, every single Pokemon in the open area or wild area, everyone would call it. I think it's just fantastic
the
and
world.
have their own personality. Yeah, it generally works very well, and I really appreciate it. And then how you be like the Dittos are transformed into other Pokemon. You're like, oh, cool.
It was just about to say that.
Zora and Zoroark as well.
Yep, they do the same thing. And then like you lock onto it, and that lock onto it thing is pretty fucking shit, to be honest. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Games
lately have been having a really hard time with lock on. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's all. It's all fantastic.
And so the problem is I've tasted the sweet fruit. I assume you guys have as well, of seeing this game run with a 60 FPS mod.
Yes.
And boy, does it just hurt seeing it's like Homer Simpson putting the brochure down, going, why doesn't mine look like that?
You know what other sweet fruit I've seen with this game is seeing it with voice acting. Okay,
actually, that's we're still in gameplay. Excellent time to segue that. Okay, I need to get this off my chest. just because people keep bringing it up in terms of reference with Sword and Shield. This game as well. Game Freak, buddy, come here. Please ignore the spiked baseball bat I have behind my head, holding behind my back.
Ignore the gun in the center of all of us.
Slowly rotating. Game Freak, if you have the audacity to make an actual gameplay slash story beat, something that is about people either making sounds with their mouths, or like singing or rapping or anything, where you think, gosh golly darn, it would be great if there was some kind of way to put human like sound into this game. Don't, unless you're going to actually put voice acting in it, because the concert in Sword and Shield, I hated, because it's just subtitled lyrics, and to have a rap battle in this game, I hated, because I kept going, man, if only this game had any kind of voice acting. And then, you know what? I swear to God, they know that this is the case, because the end song, the first time I've heard it in a Pokemon game, Celeste by Ed Sheeran, having lyrics, having vocalized lyrics, they know what they're doing, and fuck me, does it just irritate the hell out of me that they are committing to the bit.
You mentioned the singers. I also want to bring up Iono, the streamer, and a big part of streamers and VTubers, which he's aping off, is their personalities that shine through their voices. You can't have Iono and all of her little beats and not have her voiced.
It's still single-handedly the biggest downside of any fucking Pokemon game, actually.
I'd be fine if it was all just Japanese voice acting too, and English subtitles.
Don't even make it Japanese. Monster Hunter voices.
That too, that would be fine.
Need. Just like generic fucking sim, like if you notice, all of the written language in Paldea is fucking nonsense. And that's fine.
Yeah, I think Pokemon in general has its own voices, alphabet.
And that's fine. Just put sim voices or something in there, because to have them do the repeated, like Alphared, when he was playing Arceus, there was like a clip of him saying, and now they're going to go into a black screen while an action happens. That way they save money on animation. And holy shit, if that's not what occurs to me every time we're in a cutscene now of, oh, they're going to do a slightly complicated animation. I guess they're going to black the screen out for a sec. And yeah, they do. Holy fuck. Just, one thing at a time, fix the voice acting first. I will say, credit where credit's due, seeing a Pokemon actually eat a sandwich in multiple bites as opposed to just it disappearing from the hand, nice touch, nice upgrade. If we could just build on that and actually put fucking voice acting in.
No, fuck you. The sandwich animations are awful.
Yeah, they're shit. It's like a splash screen at best.
Yeah, we've come from Sword and Shield, where there's like this whole curry animation of like the trainer like picking up the spoon, biting into it, and then like having a reaction. And then we go to this, which is a PNG of the sandwich in the background. The trainer just coming in weirdly off the side like a fucking WarioWare character and doing a chomp. And it's so awful.
No, I'm talking about the Herba Mystica sandwich eating. Oh, in the cutscene.
Oh, that one,
I've never made a sandwich in this game.
There's no need to. Like, it's,
if you're shiny hunting, there's a need to.
That's true. It does boost shiny odds. And apparently,
if you want a specific type of Pokemon in an area, like there's a forest area. Oh no, not just that. Like there's a forest area where there's like all sorts of Pokemon all over the place. But if you're like, I'm going to make a sandwich that boosts ground encounters, the only thing that will pop up is Toadscrawl and
literally eating rocks.
Yeah, and the evolution. I forget the name of Toadscrawl's evolution at the moment.
Toadscrawl. No, it's Toadscrawl and then Toadscrawl. Like Tentacruel and Tentacruel.
Yeah, Toadscrawl and Toadscrawl.
Fucking.
But yeah, no, I fucking hate the idea that Game Freak looked at Rhyme. Rhyme's a great character. Love Rhyme. But decided Rhyme will just get to do the lip sync voice acting shit that we've done for the past X number of years. But then we'll put a fully like song with lyrics as the credits song via Ed Sheeran. Fuck you, Game Freak.
Yeah, no, something else that they could have done, like in those cases, is have unique gym leader themes. That way, instead of like voicing Rhyme, have like a rap track in the background for her, and for Iono, have something upbeat and electronic, and for Larry, the best gym leader.
Silence.
Yeah, just silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Love Larry so much.
Just give him the Kezu theme.
I kind of like the idea of Larry actually having the Sephiroth theme.
Yeah.
Like one winged angel playing when you challenge Larry.
When you challenge him in the gym, it's silence, but then when he shows up later in the Elite Four, that's when it pops up as a one winged angel.
No. So that, or alternatively, he has his own theme. Like it's a really distinctive kind of 2 steps from Hellstar music. But then when you go to battle him in any context, it's silent. So like you talking to him is him playing the theme, but then as soon as you go to actually battle him, it's just silent.
I'd also be all for this. Because whenever Ino's on screen and she's talking, she has her own theme.
I'm basically out of stuff that I want to mention with the gameplay. I know that quite a few of the things that we discussed and hoped would be in Gen 9 from Arceus were in Gen 9, which I do feel
like
with.
A few things were scaled back compared to Arceus. Like they somehow made a few things feel worse. Like the gliding in Arceus we complained about being kind of rough. The gliding in this is actually so bad. Like you drop like a rock after 5 meters.
But you know what the difference is? They didn't put some dumb fucking Sonic 08 challenge in there to just hit a bunch of rings while gliding like they did in Arceus. So while the gliding is rough, at least it doesn't punish you by then making you like realize how rough it is. If you find out how rough it is, that's fine. But if you never touch gliding, you're not punished for it by trying to do some fucking challenge for like 30 minutes because of how stupid the mechanic is. Actually, side point springing off of that one. I miss, again, point to Oras. Not only could you fly around on Latias, where, it's just flight for flight's sake and not just this weird gliding mechanic that they've done 2 games in a row now.
It's a JRPG world map airship system.
But also the traveling only going to Poke centers and locations. I don't think it's a big complaint in Gen 9, but it sort of struck me that you can fly to specific routes. You can fly basically everywhere in Oras, and there are places where the nearest Poke Center, or the nearest, because you can technically fly to some ruins and stuff as well in Scarlet Violet, but there are a few places where I've wanted to get to where it's like, oh yeah, no, you are miles from the nearest Pokemon Center. You can fly wherever you want and still ride your motorcycle for 2 minutes before you get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
They are, there's a lot of them, but it also feels like they're kind of spread out a little too far.
Well, no, it's that they're just spread out unevenly. Some areas you can go to 3 different Pokemon Centers within eyesight of each other, and then others it's like, oh, there's something you want to get on the other side of that mountain? Guess you're walking.
The ice region is the worst about it.
Yeah. Speaking of gameplay, we will segue out of this in a sec, I swear. But the final thing I wanted to touch on the eastern side of the map, that large thing that you can't scale. What do we think is in there?
DLC.
I was thinking DLC as well. Yeah,
There's
DLC.
no way it's fucking, and I'm so fucking disappointed. There is nothing. There are 2 things I hate. There's day 1 DLC, and there's literally carving out a place for DLC, and that's what it feels like. It's like, oh, it's a big mountain, you can't touch it. You look on the map, and it's just this big fucking thing that's dotted out. I hate it.
Yeah. And your legendary can't climb it despite being able to climb every other part of it.
Yep, and just slides right off it. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I found out, going around, I went as far around it as I could on the water. If you are technically underneath the blocked out part on the map, you can't fast travel.
Oh, really?
Really? Get fucked.
So even though I'm in the water, right, I can't scale the fucking mountain. But even though I'm in the water, I was in this weird I was basically in the shadow of the section on the map, and the game just treats it like you're in the crater, which is that you're in an area which is technically unmapped, therefore you can't fast travel. I mean, you only have to move 2 meters and then you can fast travel again. But I just thought it was interesting that it was not only can you not scale it, they don't want you anywhere near this, and it's a fifth of the map on one side. What are you doing?
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with that, actually.
Yeah, no, that really fucking annoyed me too.
Yeah, at first I thought it might be something linked with Area Zero, but it was not.
Yeah. one last thing while I think of it, just because it's probably more gameplay related than anything else. But the post game finding the 4 sealed Pokemon.
The 4 treasures, yeah.
The 4 treasures. Thank you.
Yep, I did want to touch on these at some point.
Does anyone else think that, for all the shit we can give Ubisoft games, at least the collectibles are mapped?
Yeah, no, that's the worst part about the Legendary Hunt. Like, I stumbled upon them at the very beginning of the game. Like, instead of going straight to the town, I went to the right where the first Pokemon Center is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And
Same.
you run into this kid and he's like, oh, hey, there's this really weird black door, like, just around the corner. So I went and I was like, fuck is this? And then as I was exploring more of the first area, I go up to a cliffside, I look up and it's like, there's this black stake sitting out the ground. And I'm like, the fuck is that?
No, it's even worse. There's an ominous black stake poked into the ground. Do you want to remove it?
Oh, I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even do that because, like, where I was looking at it from, there was like a gap that you needed the legendary to jump over. So I couldn't even interact with the first one I saw. I just saw it. I was like, the fuck is that thing?
But to be given the false illusion of free will, and it's like there is this ominous black stake that might kill you and your entire family if you remove it. Do you want to remove it? You can remove it. It's ominous and it's sticking out of the ground.
And the thing I really don't like though is that the barrier shows 4 chains, like 4 seals.
Yes.
But there's 8.
Fuck.
There's 8.
Yeah,
so they don't remove
one.
one. They remove 1 for every 2. I think it should have just been the 4 because that's visually confusing.
I'll let you speak in a sec, Steve. But by comparison, right? I, in the last couple of days, as part of playing through the November update for Monster Hunter Rise, decided to go and collect the relics. I'd collected all the relics on Switch, and I was like, fuck, I haven't done all the relics on PC yet. I'll go start, like, paying more attention to the relics. They are numbered 1 through 10. If you are missing one, you know exactly where it is. It's not mapped, right? It's also not mapped. The worlds where you find the relics are way smaller than Pokemon, but for God's sake, just knowing how many you have is such a nice quality of life upgrade.
Yeah, just because it being uneven is like, oh, there's 2 more seals left. Do I have 3 stakes left? Do I have 4 stakes left? I don't know.
Yeah, where are they? Who knows? They could be like I thought when you were initially told, it was like, okay, there are stakes in the ground, there are chains on the door. Therefore, I should be able to see all the stakes from the chained door. Nope. No, those fucks are spread far and wide. Anyway, sorry, what were you going to say, Steve?
Yeah, no, the worst part of open world games is this kind of shit. And not only did they sort of put them in random places, they didn't mark it on your map.
They also have a perfect opportunity to mark them on your map because you go through the school lessons and the history teacher tells you about the legendary Pokemon and about the sealed doors. So they could have waited until you do that lesson to go, hey, here's where they are on the map, because I think that lesson opens up near the end of the game.
No, it's even fucking worse because if it marks the shrines on the map, not the individual parts of the 8 stakes you got to pull out of the ground.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They should have marked the stakes along with those gates.
Yeah. It's fucking it's just filler for the sake of filler, and it's because the draw distance is shit. Because you can't really control the time of the day because it's no longer locked to the Switcher setting. It runs on a weird 20-30 minute cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, because the gliding is shit, that like I was gliding around everywhere to try and spot them, but a combination of like you descend really fast after 10 seconds and the draw distance being bad, it's like you don't get a good vantage point on these things.
Yeah, not to mention, isn't it great that they are nice and easy to see from the air because they're glowing like every collectible in every other game? Oh, wait.
They don't glow that much.
No, that's what I'm saying, so they don't glow at all. You're like, you walk past it and you're like, oh, I wasn't paying attention to whether a stake was pointing out of the ground. I guess the thing that's a slightly different color to the other texture might be the stake I'm looking for.
You know what? If they wanted to be this obtuse about it, the very least they could have done is make them visible from the towers that are littered all over the place. Like have something you can use to interact with on the lookout towers, and that'll like highlight them, and then you can do like a Breath of the Wild style a glowing marker on the floor and make your way over there. Like if every lookout tower let you see each individual,
that would be fine.
Stake,
that would be really good. That would be a really nice system actually. I was going to say the order of operations that I played this in, Seth, played through Scarlet Violet, and then played through Ratchet and Clank and Crack in Time. Wow, Patrick, that's a weird tangent to bring Ratchet and Clank into this. Just hear me out. The Lorbs, running around getting the Lorbs in the giant open world. I don't remember the name of the planet. In the archives. You have to go find 3. And after 2, I was like, where the fuck is a third one? I can't believe that this isn't marked on the map. This is going to be so hard to continue. You get to the third one, and the game's like, okay, you collected 3. Here's the rest of them marked on the map. Brilliant system.
Yeah, and then you also fucked it up because you missed the first one that's directly behind you.
I did. Yeah, I did. But it was just like, it was just the difference where the game, where like Scarlet Violet's like, find 8 sticks in the ground that are real fucking hard to see. And meanwhile, Ratchet and Clank's like, find 3. If you find 3, we'll show you the rest of them.
I really want to make it sound. I want to make it sound worse. It's 8 per legendary, so it's 32 in total. Yeah,
absolutely fucked.
Yeah,
the legendaries themselves are kind of cool though.
Oh yeah, no, I really like the legendaries in this game. I also like the added lore with them. Like you do that history lesson about them, and it's like, oh no, yeah, these are just straight up from another region. Like I don't think there's ever been a legendary Pokemon like story related in any of them when you're like in that region.
And why don't we, before Saif rudely interrupted me, take how good the legendary Pokemon are as a segue into the Pokedex and thoughts on what Pokemon are available in this game. Anyway, Saif, continue.
Yeah, so just having like some sort of lore behind them, like just kind of elevates them a little bit more than what's usually there. Like Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno just kind of exist in Kanto. Same with the 3 dogs in Johto. I don't think there's ever actually been a set of legendaries that are like specifically stated we're from a different region than the region that you're exploring.
What do you mean? Charizard's from a different region in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, that's more a pseudo than a legendary.
Fucking Blastoise and Venusaur get left in the trash, but boy howdy if Charizard isn't going to make it to every fucking game from here until the end of time.
They came through.
Eventually. They had to wait on their passport.
The DLC. Yeah, had to wait for their Dynamax forms the Gigantamax forms.
I reckon Blastoise had to declare no, he did not pack his shell himself, and try and explain the 2 Hydra cannons on his back. He could easily hijack a plane with those. Change my mind.
Well, I think all Pokemon could easily hijack a plane.
You know what? Venusaur could too. It has access to Bullet Seed.
Well, so could Charizard. Literally spits fire. What are we doing here, fellas?
What do you mean? Charizard literally flies. He doesn't need to kill the pilot. He doesn't need to pay for air travel.
He kills the pilot and then flies out to safety.
He kills the pilot and then flies the plane. Good guy, Charizard. And then he Mega Evolves Charizard X and then forgets how to fly.
It's okay with me. Oh, that's right. Yeah, he becomes a dragon type. He terrestrializes into a flying type. How about
that?
Oh my god.
So for this Pokédex conversation, should we start with what starter we all picked?
Yeah, sure. I started with
Fuecoco.
Yeah.
Yes. The names are not very memorable, and especially for the fire ones, but I started with it as well.
Oh, really? You both went with the fire one. Okay, so I picked Quaxley. And I got traded I got traded the others, so I kept the Sprigatito on my team as well.
Double boo.
Yeah, it sounds like a bit cheating, but power to you, I guess.
I mean, hey, if you have the if you had the audacity to pick Quaxley and play the game and then talk about how much you enjoyed it, power to you, my friend. You played it suboptimally, but like if you had fun,
to be fair, picking Fuecoco is playing on easy mode.
Playing all of them is like on easy mode. They're all really good. What are you talking about?
You've seen Grasscat's special move, right?
Oh yeah, no, Grasscat Meowscarada's special move is fantastic, but Skeledirge in general have like its signature boosting its special attack and it having unaware just makes it really strong.
Well, you
it doesn't get unaware by default.
Yeah, true. But its signature move in general is just really strong.
I mean, when you think about how they are introduced to you. Where you're like walking through the fields and they're just playing whatever. Fuecoco feels like it should have unaware as the ability, but no, it gets Blaze.
Yeah, they all get like the natural starter one.
Yeah, I in general the Pokedex is alright.
I think it's really good. I was
really happy with it.
Yeah, like all the returning Pokemon from older generations are really good, and so many of the new ones I absolutely love. Except for so I want to talk about Pawmi for a second.
Oh.
So Pawmi is a free stage.
You leave my Pawmi boy alone.
No, Pawmi is great. Pawmot is good. Pormo doesn't need to exist. Pormo is just an evolution for Porme where it decides it wants to stand up.
That's true.
They could have cut that. They could have cut that out and went straight from Porme to Pormot.
It's cool electric fighting type. That's never been done before.
Yeah, no, electric fighting is a really good typing.
Its special move burns up. Is it burns up the fighting or burns up the electric type?
Electric, yeah. It's like
burns
burnout.
up the electric type.
That fire type, which is really sick.
Yeah, it's cool. I know that we talked about this with Sword and Shield and how one of my gripes with that game was that it felt like so many Pokemon just got shoehorned into this Pokemon has a special ability. This is the only instance of this ability existing, and it's the same fucking name as an already existing ability. They just want to make it slightly different. I don't know what changed, whether I'm just more okay with it or whether it's just been long enough that I've just that I realize it's not as big an issue. They do a similar thing in Scarlet Violet, and I'm okay with it. So many of the Pokemon are like, oh, you have the special move or you have the special ability, and it's like, great. Love the diversity.
Yeah, no, I think it's just because it's more well-rounded in this game. Like, it feels like every single Pokemon has something unique about them to make them more diverse. Like, they give Primeape a new ghost move in this so that it can evolve into a ghost fighting type. So Primeape, for the first time, I guess, in its life, has its own signature move and a new evolution to go along with that.
I feel like the evolution is the stronger. Like, I'm glad Primeape's getting some love. I feel like the fact that it evolves into Annihilate.
Yeah, no, Annihilate is so
fantastic.
good.
Yeah.
So, some of the names, bangers.
Some of them are good. Like, you've got those sort of, they're regional variants, but they're not regional variants of like Toedscool and Toedscruel.
Yeah, no, there's like a weird
trio.
Clodsire, my favorite.
Yeah, no, there's like a weird distinction. Like, Toedscool and Toedscruel are like fully unique. There's also a Wiglet and a Wug trio. But then you have Paldean Wooper that evolves into Clodsire. So it gets its own unique evolution. But the first one is like Paldean regional variant.
Isn't like I swear that's like, is it Meowth?
There's Galarian Meowth, and then it evolves into Berserker.
Yeah,
Berserker.
I thought that's not too bad though. Like, I didn't mind it. Like, there's some evolutions like the Dunsparce.
You leave the Dunsparce alone.
I think it's the fucking funniest thing in the entire world. Everyone has been going Dunsparce is going to be good this generation. It literally just gets another segment or two segments depending on which thing you get.
At first, I was really down on the Dunsparce. Like, it's just like, oh, they just added another DU at the beginning of its name and gave it one additional segment. But then I realized, oh no, it has a 1% chance to go into 3 segments. And I'm like, you know what? I've turned around this. I think it's hilarious.
I think it's fucking horseshit. I think that weird 1% thing for it to grow longer is really weird. I think Mousehold, where it can be a family of 3 or a family of 4, is fucking strange.
Yeah, that's also a 1% thing as well. Being a family of 3 is a 1% chance.
The fact that there's a 1% chance for it to lose 25% of all its stats.
Yeah, it's fucking strange. Like, and some of the evolutions are quite weird. Like,
yeah, sticking on Tandemaus for a second, I fucking love that Tandemaus is just like it levels up in the background, and then you look at your party and it's just multiplied. It doesn't have like an actual evolution screen. It's just you look back at your Pokemon list and it's like, wait a second, there's 4 of you now.
Which is so strange because when the game first came out, it's like, oh, is this a bug? It's fucking evolved. But then you read the Pokedex entry, and the Pokedex entry is like, oh, another one suddenly appeared one day, and you're like, oh shit, like.
Oh yeah, that's right. And how they retcon how eggs happen in Spain, where people reverse pickpocket eggs into picnic baskets.
Oh yeah, no, the Pokemon just leave them in picnic baskets now for you to pick up later.
Like, all I'm saying is, the moment where humans abandon Spain and leave it to be reclaimed by Pokemon, they all die out because there's no picnic baskets.
Very, very strange. The whole breeding mechanic, if you have to breed them at picnics, I'm still against, to be honest. It just seems very weird. Sitting there eating a sandwich and like your 2 Pokemon are fucking.
Really? Right in front of the salad?
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Right in front of
Yeah, but going back to the evolution thing again, like how Gimmighoul has a chest form and it takes 999 coins and you roughly get if you find them roaming around, you get between like 1 to 10, or if you find a chest, you get between about like 30 to 60. Like it takes so long and so much.
No.
The thing
I
that
disagree.
makes-
You know what? They were initially going to make that pay to win. You could put your credit card details in and just buy coins.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely feels that sort of way. Like,
Once you realize that they're mostly found on top of the like the battle versions of them are mostly found on top of towers, and you have like all of the movement abilities, it doesn't take all that long to do.
but it's just bullshit looking for stuff.
Yeah, and if you want
like
to do
900
multiple of them, it takes a long time to get back up to the 999.
Yeah, because it uses all 999, and it's not like as if when you go over 999, it like has like a separate one where it's like, oh, here's the other one. It's like you sort of like lose them all, so you have to start exactly from zero again. It's just, it's weird, and I fucking hate it.
Actually, sort of hopping off of that one is a very different evolution mechanic. I know that there are quite a few other crazy evolution mechanics, like even Pawmot, where you have to run around with it out of its Pokeball for a while, which...
Yeah, 1,000 steps.
Let's just think about that for a sec. That, from like an actual like natural state of Pokemon evolutionary perspective, is probably the most logical one that Pokemon's ever done.
It's training. It's running and training.
Like that in its natural state, it will eventually evolve. Yeah, good shit. It doesn't need human intervention. What a nice change.
Finizen is such a weird one as well, because that one is like get it to level 38 or so while you're in someone else's game.
Or you'd have to be in someone else's game. You just have to be in a union room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
Which
right.
is-
It's
but
just a
with-
union room, so it can be your own one.
Yeah, but you still have to have someone else in the union room, I'm pretty sure. Like, you can't do it. It's my understanding anyway. Like, it's very... And then, like, it evolves, and it looks like it evolves into the same thing with a fucking heart on its chest, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but its ability, Zero is a Hero, is so fucking good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I don't know. I couldn't come around on it.
Best and worst Pokemon from Gen 9?
From a
Tinkaton.
purely... Yeah, that's pretty cool. Purely from an aesthetic, plus the names, plus the background of it, like Fido and Dashbun, those are fucking hysterical.
Yeah, Fido and Dashbun are pretty good.
Yeah. And Dashbun's ability of like every time it gets hit by a fire attack, its defense goes up because it's like fucking baked. It's fucking hysterical. I love it.
That's hit me so hard playing with Skeledirge, where it's just like, let me just spam my special attack boost. It's like, oh no, I can't do that against I can't do it against that.
Yeah, like it's pretty cool. But like my overall favorite, I don't know. I think it'd probably have to be Reveroom. That the car one.
Reveroom's pretty good. Riven and Houndstone are pretty good too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But the weakest
Houndstone
though,
potentially getting banned by Smogon at some point.
Oh yeah, because of its fucking ability. It's that.
Yeah,
move
because
that
it
does
does
more
Signature move
damage.
is so good.
300 base power ghost move.
Yeah, like after like 3 or 4 Pokemon faint.
Yeah.
Time
to swing the ban hammer.
Yeah, I don't really like that electric flying one, Watchel and Kilowatt. It seems like they're missing an evolution. Like, and I don't know
it
why.
feels like they've only gone to
True.
stage 2.
Yeah, and I do enjoy how Squawkabilly has those 4 different colors, and all 4 different colors have like different abilities or stats. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's neat.
Oh, really? They do?
Well, I think it's like grouped into 2. Like 2 of them have the same stats, and the other 2 have different stats. Like it just flips a couple of things. So that's pretty interesting. But in terms of weakest, in terms of what I think design-wise, I don't know. Probably Lechonk and Oinkalong are pretty shit.
One of those is pretty shit, and
Yeah,
it's not
Oin-
Lechonk.
Oinkologne is pretty bad.
I always thought it was shit. Oh no, what's that Earthworm one? Orthworm
Orthworm.
or something? I fucking hate that.
Orthworm is pretty bad as
I thought it
well.
was it's a fucking worm with a thing in the middle. Yeah. But-
I don't like Spidops.
Yeah, that's fair. It seems like it should be doing something else.
Lokix
That's
is
fair.
really cool though.
Yeah, Lokix
The
is
cricket
great.
one, yeah. I fucking hate Tatsugiri, but the fucking sushi one. I like how it interacts with that big Donzo
Dondozo?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Hate how it looks like sushi. But I did find a
Yep.
shiny one, so I'm legally obligated to say it's fucking
So now
sick.
it's your favorite.
Yeah.
You know what? Shiny check.
Zero.
yeah,
Zero
that-
seen, 0 battled, 0 caught.
I found a shiny Voltor, but it self-destructed on me, and I didn't save in front of it, so I've lost it. But I got a Tatsugiri shiny, but that's it. I might find a bit more now that I've got the shiny charm, and I'm doing my living dex. But I don't care.
I've
You
got
found
a
a couple,
couple.
haven't you?
I've got a couple thanks to Trin trading me over some, but the one I found myself, and Patrick will love this because we just came off spending so fucking long doing a pink shiny tier list. I got a shiny Sneasel.
On purpose, or
No, not on
He grabbed the
purpose.
receipt and he's like, please take it back. Please, anything else.
No, I was just running through the ice area and I just noticed a Sneasel was pink and I was like, of course it's a fucking Sneasel that we ranked as disgusting. I'm getting it anyway.
Still is.
I do hate, so in Legends Arceus where they first started putting shiny Pokemon in the overworld and it made a sound when you found it, that was fucking sick. They do not make a sound in this. And some of those shiny...
That means that when I play it muted, it's fine.
Yeah, you can play it muted, it's fine. Yeah, and that's why I probably played Arceus with the sound on, just in case I found one.
Yeah, no, that was the other thing that I wanted to bring up was a backtrack from Arceus, is that Arceus had that jingle when you had a shiny, and it also did the animation, like the shiny animation when you looked at it. Yeah,
the sparkles. Yeah, with this one, it doesn't do it. There's no sparkle. There's a sparkle when you enter the battle, but in the overworld, there's no sparkle. And some of the shinies, especially some of the new ones, look exactly the fucking same. It's 3 shades darker.
The one I hate the most is Charcadet. Charcadet is exactly the same, except they changed the eye color to blue instead of red.
Oh, get fucked, you're never going to see that.
You literally have to walk up to it and look at its eyes to be able to tell.
Stare at its soul.
But yeah, on the whole, like I think I was like quite negative at the start, but they sort of grew on me, like that rock salt Garganacl, whatever you pronounce it. That sort of grew on me.
I fucking love Garganacl.
Yeah, and
Garganacl, I think.
Yeah, I fucked if I know how to pronounce it. Like they sort of did grow on me, and I think they only grew on me because they have so much personality in the overworld.
Yeah, the personality in the overworld helps so much.
Yeah,
I think to me, I think this might be my favorite regional dex game. Maybe aside from Gen 3, it's at least on par, if not perhaps slightly better than Gen 3. Haven't really figured out the Gen 3 comparison yet. But the reason why I say that is because I'm a sucker for Wooper. I love me a Whoopie boy, and the fact that I so quickly got a Paldean Wooper, and it was
you can get right at the beginning of the game.
But what does it evolve into? And as soon as it evolved, I'm like, okay, he's on my team until I die. Like, I'm never taking him out of my team.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. This is a really good regional dex. I think it might also be my favorite. Like, there's a lot of old Pokemon I love. All the new ones are really good. Like, there's not many new Pokemon in here that I dislike, honestly.
It's got Luxray. It's got Luxray. That's all that is.
Apparently.
Yeah, except for Spidops. But even Spidops isn't like a hate. It's just like a you exist sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think it doesn't feel right from its evolution, like the Tarantula one. It feels like there should be like a middle one. But they did break a lot of like traditions, for lack of a better word. Like there's no 3-stage bird evolution. There's no 3-stage bug evolution. The pseudo-legendary is a dragon, but they'll fucking never stop doing that. There's no real...
They actually did stop. The one time they don't have a dragon is Gen 2. Actually, no, Gen 3 as well. Metagross isn't
Metagross.
But Metagross isn't it.
But that wasn't the pseudo. That's
pseudos?
in the game. But are they both?
I think Metagross is the official pseudo for Gen 3.
Yeah, because like Metagross is Salamence is in the same ballpark as Flygon in being like a sick, powerful dragon type, but I don't know if it's the pseudo.
I'm gonna look it up while you guys are talking.
Because I think Bagon is actually pretty easy to get.
It is in this one. I in the desert area just fucking ran into a Bagon.
Oh no, I mean in Gen 3, like Bagon is just generally a fairly easy Pokemon to get.
Disagree. He's only available after you have Waterfall in Meteor Falls.
Yeah, it takes a while and he's still pretty rare.
Yeah.
So according to Bulbapedia, they are both pseudo-legendaries.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
they both get Mega Evolutions as
well. Shoot, some of the new moves. Some of the new moves I think are really cool too, which we sort of touched on with the different abilities and stuff. But like, yeah, not Houndoom, help me out, Ghost Dog.
Houndstone. Graveyard. I don't know.
Yeah, Graveyard.
Graveyard is the first one. Houndstone is the second.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, Houndstone special move. Fucking baller. Revival Blessing.
All of the starters' new special moves are baller.
Yeah, Pawmot's Revival Blessing is sick. I don't remember which Pokemon it is, but the Snowy Drift, the one that like causes it to start snowing.
Titan, isn't it?
Is it Titan? I don't think it's just a Titan special, but the one where like it goes back to the train. It's basically like Volt Switch, but like it starts.
The chilling joke one.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't think that's a signature move though, is it? I thought that was just
that's a TM you can get.
Sorry, I misspoke when I said signature moves. I'm just thinking like new moves to Gen 9 is what I meant.
Right,
Because Revival Blessing is also not a signature move. Pormot and one other can get it. I don't remember.
The fucking dung beetle one. Starts in
Spider-Ups.
No, it's not fucking spider. But yeah, like the moves are pretty
from
cool.
above.
It's still a shame that some of the signature moves and the new moves seem like they've had a couple some work done in the animation. Other moves do not. Tackles still looks like it moving forward.
One of the ones for Baxcalibur is bad.
It turns
on
upside
purpose. It's on purpose because it's a straight up Glaive Rush. It's just a straight up reference to a Godzilla move, and Baxcalibur is just a Godzilla monster. So I'm fine with that.
Make sense. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Okay, so let's pivot on to Paradox Pokemon. What do you guys think?
I was about to pivot onto them as well.
Wow, look at you two sharing a brain cell. It's so cute.
Don't be jealous. We'll share one later, babe.
They're great. I think the ones from Scarlet are a lot better than the ones in Violet.
I think the ones they chose for Scarlet were worse. Like I sort of do get the theme, but like having a Jigglypuff, Misdreavus, like they're all pre-evolutions.
I love Misdreavus, so I think I won out on that one.
I'm going to have to pull up the full list because I'm missing. I don't know what the Paradox Pokemon are that are available in Scarlet. So
I will link you the full Pokedex for you to have a look at.
Yeah, so I did not like the naming convention for Violet. Like everything
all of them are just
Iron something.
Yeah,
and I think
agreed.
Because that name was Iron something, I assumed they were all Steel types, and that's not true at all.
Yes. Holy shit! Yeah. The number of times during the battles in full storyline where it was like, you don't know what type this is. Like, well, it's got iron in the name and it looks metallic. Surely it's a steel type. Nope, electric.
Yeah,
I'm just looking at the last two that they list. In Scarlet, you get Roaring Moon, which is a Salamence paradox, and in Violet you get Iron Valiant, which is a mix of Gallade and Gardevoir.
Yeah. I love Iron Valiant though.
Iron
Holy
Valiant
shit.
is so fucking cool. Thank you, Trin, for the shiny Iron Valiant. I love it.
Yeah, it's fucking fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
But both of those are really cool. Like, I really love Roaring Moon as well. And just for the comparison's sake, I was trying to make Roaring Moon is such a cooler name than Iron Valiant.
Well, all the Paradox Pokemon from Scarlet have much better names. Yep, like you got Screamtail for Jigglypuff. Fluttermane's a pretty shit name, actually, to be honest. But
Sandy Shocks for Magnemite.
Magnemite, yeah.
No, Magneton.
Slitherwing for Lavesta. Volcarona, yeah. Like a great task.
No, sorry. It has to be because there's an Iron Moth, which is definitely Volcarona. So that would have to be.
It's both. It's they're both Volcaronas. It's past Volcarona and future Volcarona.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that share. Like Great Tusk is past Donphan.
Iron Treads.
Yeah, and then there's Iron Treads.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sort of like that.
The first time I saw what was your first Paradox Pokemon other than the Titan?
Iron Bundle. Like story wise, you're gonna get it. Like the Delibird one, which is fucking shit.
It is fixed, right? I can remember.
Mine was Screamtail, so I ran into Jigglypuff first.
And so me looking at Iron Bundle going, holy shit, it's a deli. What the fuck?
He's here.
Yeah. It was.
You know what? Down note for Iron Bundle, it's not a pink shiny.
What?
No, it's I think all of the iron ones just go completely metallic silver.
Yeah, they do.
And they keep their secondary color, or their secondary color gets highlighted a bit more.
Yeah, like that's why like Iron Hands looks very similar in its shiny form. It's just got like a little head. But yeah, all the shinies for Iron, for all the Violet paradoxes are all like more metallic looking. Actually, you know what? A quick shout out to Game Freak as well. The shininess of certain Pokemon, especially Steel types. Like look at like a Magneton or something or a Magnemite. It's very shiny in a way that just makes it look 100% better textured.
I think they put reflections on them.
Mean.
Yeah,
like the actual shininess, not the shiny spriteness.
Yeah, no, not the shiny sprite. The actual shininess of the texture. It's Oh,
Yeah,
that's pretty,
I know what you mean.
cool.
Yeah, I agree.
I can give and take the legendaries. I can sort of understand their past and future versions of cyclers are, but I thought they were pretty average, to be honest.
I really like Koraidon. I think it looks really cool.
Especially when it's running around on all fours, right?
Yeah, no, that's the best part.
God, I thought I hated that. So sorry, man.
Man, shiny Great Tusk looks sick.
Oh, you know, shiny Great Tusk is pretty good.
Actually, regular Great Tusk also looks good. God damn.
Yeah.
I really like shiny Iron Moth as well.
Yeah, it just feels like they chose like fucking Amoongus for Brute Bonnet. Like the Pokemon choices for Scarlet are worse, but the designs are cooler. If that makes sense.
I can agree with that because you fucking get Hydreigon in Violet.
But it looks like a low poly Hydreigon. If that's the future of Hydreigon, it's in its peak form now. It only goes down. Actually, that makes sense because the whole fairy type thing. No, never mind. It's all good.
Yeah, and they get a couple of like interesting types, like Iron Hands being a fighting electric. It's pretty good. I don't know how Iron Moth is a fucking poison type, but whatever, man.
I like Iron Valiant being the secondaries for Gardevoir and Gallade, so it's fairy fight instead of a psychic.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
What's the non-paradox, but also from the area, the one that when you punch it just spews poison spikes everywhere?
Oh yes. I need to find that.
Glimmer something. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Glimora, I think.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool Pokemon. It's a shame that what's the champion's name? Greeter. She uses that Pokemon last because it's literally designed to be sent out first. Strange.
Do we want to talk? Do we want to talk about the Elite Four at some point?
We might as well sort it in now. I think we're sort of coming towards the end of our discussion. We've kind of ambled through a bunch of the headings. I will just quickly preface it with I saw a clip of it might have actually been in the Larry fight. I think it was of the clip I saw where someone sent out a Ditto, which Imposter transformed into one of his Pokemon, and the Pokemon only have 2 moves.
No, that's completely on point for Larry. He's efficient.
Nah, it's just pretty. It's like his like ace when he's a gym leader. He terrestrializes into a normal, and it's got like 2 moves, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was all the gym leaders as well.
He does not need more than 2 moves. He's efficient. 4 moves is too much.
Shut the fuck up. Where's the coverage? He's a normal type gym leader. He needs some sort of coverage.
Actually, so on the gym leaders, actually, I kind of wish that they weren't programmed to just go straight into their terrestrialized versions when they have their Pokemon out. Because, like, let's say it's a Sudowoodo out for the grass gym. Sudowoodo is a rock type, and you're more than likely going to have a fire type in. If you just kept it for one turn, you could fuck up your fire type and then terrestrialize into the grass type. But they're just hard programmed to go, no, I'm going to change now.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And they change into the type they're supposed to be, which is just fucking strange. Like it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to sweep again. Another fire type attack.
Yeah, but that does mean that when people eventually pull this apart and we have ROMs and shit, like ROM hacks of Scarlet Violet, I think are going to be sick, specifically because being able to tinker with the AI with terrestrialization, any kind of like hard mode mod or ROM that people create, they have so much to work with in this game.
They do.
Yeah, very true.
electric air balloon shit engines as far as the eye can see. Gym leaders, which will probably be, or at least Elite Four, sorry, which will probably be our last topic.
We can include the gym leaders if we want, because you do have to fight them a couple of times, and having them in a post-game setting was kind of neat.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was in 2 minds about it. I liked the intent, but it felt like it became a bit of a chore because they didn't. Maybe it was because I was. It might have been because I was so over leveled, but you kind of just plow through them. Yeah, like it didn't feel different the first time to second time. It was just like, oh, you're back. Here's like a line about how I've grown or how I can now release full power, and then they all get one shot. Yeah, no, I like the additional bit of story for them all, which is like when you first run into them, like Katie, for example, is kind of like, oh yeah, I run the bakery more than I'm a gym leader, blah, blah, blah. And then after getting beaten down by you as a champion now, she kind of like, you know what, maybe I will focus on being a gym leader a little bit more because I'm kind of getting rusty at this. And Katie's great. I love Katie, but the thing is, Katie is in the minority in terms of gym leaders like that.
No, I think a lot of them are like that. Like even Grusha is like that. He's like, but he's more like
He's
my dreams
guy.
as a snowboarder died. I'm just doing this out of obligation to Greta. And then after beating him down the second time, he's like fully motivated. Like he's come around and had like an internal monologue for himself of like, no, I really enjoy Pokemon battling, and I'll take this more seriously.
That wasn't voice acted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that last part where you have to versus the gym leaders again, that is fucking padding.
It is.
Maybe it's just because I'm really good at Pokemon games, because I think I was like a big flex.
Because you went straight to the school battle and you're like, I am the best that there ever will be.
Yeah, and never was.
I think what would have helped them if it would have been padding even more, but give them 6 Pokemon to have. That's like
it doesn't make a difference though. Like it's an extra 10 seconds.
I think it
does.
does.
No. I think it does, because what they did in now I'm getting confused between ORS, or it might have been X and Y. But when you go back through and fight them again, they get a Mega Evolution, and the Mega Evolution becomes the center point of their team, and they actually become threatening because they are then using the mechanic. Like here, they terrestrialize the last Pokemon twice. They don't like level up. They just get stronger. I think having a level up, giving them 6 Pokemon, giving them another mechanic seems like I'm asking a lot, but it was just really cool to go back through and fight the Elite Four. I don't remember which game it was, but it was one of them where you go through and you fight them and that's all fine. And you go through them, and then on the animation, I'm pretty sure it was ORS actually, because I remember Sydney, which is ORS Elite Four. On the animation of like you've challenged Elite Four Sydney, it would do the flash of the Mega Bracelet, and it was like, oh shit, he came to play.
That's right. Yeah, it does that. That's pretty cool.
And so here it just feels like, oh, I've been told that I need to, like, I've been told that I'm getting audited by Greta. Time to try again, I guess. Oh no, you beat me again.
Yeah, actually, also on the gym leaders real quick, and this is just kind of like a general overall game structure thing. I wish that the game scaled. I
agree.
Like, you went through the Titans all back to back, and then that meant you had to like fight a level 60 Titan at the end before you even touched the gym leaders and the team star bases. I think it's like level 55.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Yeah, but just in general for the gym leaders, like you can fight them in any order. And the way I played, I went to Katie first, and hold on, let me pull up the gym leaders again. But the next one.
Hey, Jamie, pull that shit up.
So I went Katie, Brassius, and Iono, and then to Larry. Kofu is meant to be before Larry, and I think I might have even did Rhyme before Larry, and she's level... not Larry, Kofu. And Rhyme's in the level 40s, and so I go back to Kofu later on, and he's level 29, so I'm way over leveled for him, and... On my trip back down around the west side of the map, I was just completely overleveled for everything that was there except for the Paradox Titan.
Yeah.
And it's weird to just go through, like, I went through the east side of the map, then the west side, but they kind of expect you to go east, west, east, west, east, west, like so back and forth.
I'll never admit that Fuecoco was easy mode, but looking at the list of gym leaders again, there is a reason why I didn't struggle at all with the final 3 gym leaders being Ghost, Psychic, and Ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Yeah, it felt like maybe because it was like too open, I just sort of go wherever I wanted. And I think I accidentally got to Grusha, the Ice type gym leader, like when I was like 13 levels, no, 10 to 13 levels underneath. So I nearly turned it around, but I just couldn't quite do it. So I'm like, well, obviously I'm not supposed to be here. So I went around and did other things and then came back and flogged her. Flogged him.
And the way they describe the gym leaders in the map as well, like that's how I kind of structured out my thing.
Same.
It really highlights Tulip as being a super hard challenge.
Yeah, Tulip was my last one because of that.
Yeah, I made her my last gym because of that as well. And then it's like, oh no, she's a few levels underneath Grusha, so I'm just kind of steamrolling her.
Yeah, and I think that's because in previous games, the Ice gym leader is almost always either the second to last or last one, so I wasn't sure which order they would be in this one, but I figured having a fire type meant that it couldn't be that hard. I
think usually if the Ice one isn't last, it's because they've got Dragon last.
Not in Gen 3. Water Gym
me.
Last, baby.
Oh yeah, and Gen 5 Part 2 also has Water Last.
Too many water gym leaders.
Too much water, 7 out of 10, Pokemon in general. Yeah, was there something you wanted to bring up with the Elite Four, or anything more about the gym leaders than the Elite Four?
Not for the gym leaders. I think I kind of covered everything with them. I like them all as characters. They all, like, having the photo op with them at the end of their fights highlights their personality a little bit more. This is a really good set of gym leaders. Like, I feel like gym leaders either don't get a lot of flavor text or personality added to them, which can be a shame. Like, a lot of who cares about the Gen 2 gym leaders besides Whitney? And Whitney's infamous because of her meal tank. And then there's also the Steel gym leader. I'm forgetting her name at the moment.
Was there a Steel gym leader or Steel Elite 4?
Steel gym leader in Gen 2. I'm talking about
Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine. People like Jasmine as well because you kind of meet her a little bit before you do her gym, so she gets like that little extra bit of story
character
love.
building.
Yeah.
You gotta save that Ant for us.
But yeah, it's when they do little bits like that, the gym leaders kind of stick out more, and I appreciate when they do that. And this game's full of that.
I also like how across, I think it's basically confirmed, right? Across the 18 things that you have to do around the map, it's basically one type per...
Oh yeah, no, it's every type.
Per thing. Yeah. I think that's just a nice touch.
That was a really nice touch as well.
Very true. Yeah. I'm still not sold on the whole idea of making it open world and being able to tackle each gym leader, but...
That's why I kind of want it to be scaling, because then that way...
It would make sense if it was scaled.
Yeah, and have their teams be dynamic with scale as well.
Or just take the evolution up or down. Yeah, they could do a million things, but maybe...
No, keep the same evolution, but change the level. I want level 20 Hydreigon.
Yeah, easy.
Level 47 Teddy
Teddiursa.
No, yeah, Teddiursa.
Yeah, should be fun, but maybe maybe Gen 10.
And then the Elite Four keep popping up throughout the gym leader story, so they're like constantly being hyped up as well. And I like them a lot. Rika has become a phenomenon online. Actually, for Poppy surprised me. I thought she was going to be a ghost type Elite Four member, and then she ends up being Steel type. Did anyone else get thrown off by that?
Not really.
I thought she was going to be fairy or something, but it's just
true. Skeledirge unite. I don't really like the archetype of the unassuming little kid in the Elite Four, just because it feels a little tropey to me, and I don't know other examples of it from Pokemon games, so I don't know where I'm getting that from, but as soon as they talked about how, Poppy's also in the Elite Four, it's like, oh, fucking course she is.
No, for me it was more like, she has like a Drifloon hat, I think, and so I thought she was going to be a ghost type, but she's also
she's a survivor.
And she's also all dressed in purple. So
is it a Drifloon hat? I thought it was just some dumbass visor.
It might be. I don't know where I'm getting the Drifloon thing from.
You walk in, you kill all of Puppy's Pokemon, you're about to walk away. Also, your hat's fucking dumb.
Leaves. Refuses to elaborate. Yeah, like that Hassel guy.
I love Hassel.
He looks like me for real. He's got like that weird man ponytail with the other half of his hair's down. And I sort of look like that.
And we also talked about him before, but Larry coming in and being forced to be a flying type Elite Four member was fantastic.
That was fantastic. Yeah,
I think Larry might just be my overall highlight of Gen 9. To be honest,
no, Larry's so good. We all need to talk about why we love Larry so much.
The thing is, I will forever give shit to Game Freak for not voice acting. I'm okay with not voice acting Larry. They nailed it.
No. They needed voice acting, but it needed to be like the most slow thing that you want to mash through, and they disable it.
Even better, they needed voice acting for everyone and still keep Larry subtitled.
I'm going to do one more suggestion, Larry, but he's voiced by Boomhauer. Voiced like Boomhauer, I mean.
I hate that.
Boomhauer, I have no idea who that is.
He's the guy that talks weird in King of the Hill.
Look, if you're doing confessions, I've never seen an episode of King of the Hill.
You should fix that at some point.
So
maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Let's find out.
And then we get to Geeta at the end, and I have problems with her team.
You want to talk us through those problems?
Most importantly, the Glimora should be the first thing she sends out, and the King Gambit should be the last thing she sends out.
Also agreed.
Like, it's so weird that she ends on a Pokemon that you can kind of rinse really easily, and it's used as a Toxic Spike setup, and it's like, oh yeah, I just hit this Pokemon, it sent out Toxic Spikes, and now the battle's over. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo indeed.
I also feel like the Go-Goat is not doing anything for this team, and like half her team is weak to Fire.
And weak to...
Ghost.
No, Bug. Half's weak to Bug as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it would be too. Yeah.
No, Skeledirge rips through this team though. Ghost beats Espafra, which is a psychic. Then Espafra, that's the one. The one that looks like Lady Gaga and Cleopatra.
Wow, okay, can't unsee that now.
Then there's the Go-Goat, which is weak to Fire. Then Veluza has the water advantage, but also Ghost's disadvantage. And by that point, you've buffed up your special attack if you're using the signature move. Then you get to Avalugg, which gets destroyed by the signature move. Then King Gambit gets destroyed by the signature move. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Skeledirge rips through her.
Yeah, but then you get walled by Glimora.
Glimora's not a fucking wall.
Yeah, like, look, Pokemon games aren't really that difficult. I don't know what we were expecting. They are getting easier.
So the funny thing about that is, I feel like it's not difficult for us, but I saw someone play this as their first Pokemon game recently, and they got fucking filtered by a few gym leaders. Like, they got filtered by Katie.
But did they get filtered because they were underleveled, or because they didn't have the right Pokemon?
Because it's their first Pokemon game, so they didn't know how to play. They don't know type matchups, and it's like, once you know type matchups and like being able to build a team, then yeah, you rip through these. But like, you got to remember, these games are someone's first Pokemon game, so it's even though it's easy for us, it's going to wall someone.
Pokemon's not designed for kids. It's been around since the 90s.
Yeah, it's designed for new kids.
So it's designed for adults now.
This game is designed for Gen Z kids.
One of the podcasts I listen to, PKMN Cast, which is a very good podcast, highly recommend all Pokemon fans listen to this.
Well, you don't have to go around shouting out other rival podcasts, but that's
they said they'd shout us out if I shouted them out. The host name is also Steve. They're always going on about how Pokemon isn't a kid's game; it's an all ages game, because there are the in-depth mechanics like VGC and shiny hunting, all that type of thing, that do give the game a bit more depth to people that are older and want that challenge. But it is very accessible for like pick up and play for people that don't really understand it. Actually, you know what? Before I forget, I'm literally seething that there is no fucking battle tower in this game. What the actual fuck, man? Jesus.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
This game needed something extra for the post game to do that. Yeah, because the post game is refight the gym leaders, do the school tournament over and over again.
Yeah, the school tournament's infinitely replayable. That's your battle tower now.
Give me a battle tower where it's actually like he gets like 100 win streak and it's like actually like semi difficult. Like,
what do you mean? You can get to a 100 win streak in the Pokemon tournament. Just keep wedging nerds.
But that's like, it's easy. That's like you put a turbo controller on, you hold the A button down, you go to bed, you wake up. Oh, look, I've beaten him a million times. But yeah, like I think that's. I was shitty when they took the battle frontier away from us in Auras, and I'm shitty they've taken the fucking battle tower away. They're taking away content from us with every game. What are we going to do? The next game's going to have one. The next game's going to have one gym leader.
I think the last time we had a battle tower was Gen 7 as well. They had big battle tree.
Sword and Shield had a battle tower.
In DLC?
Nope, in singles. In the base game.
Where is that? Oh yeah, no. The Rose Tower. Rose Tower gets it. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I haven't been. I didn't go there.
I got 100 wins in that. Trying my VTC team out. Very, very cool. Makes you feel like a big man getting those fucking battle points. Also, I do like how battle points are gone.
I guess to round out this Gita conversation, what were your championship teams?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Good question.
Steven, it's in the priorities chat.
Yeah, no, I'm looking. I'm scrolling up.
He's stalling, Seth. Leave him alone. Well, I'll go first. No surprises for my first Pokemon, Clodsire.
Yay!
Clodsire with a Quick Claw.
I don't really care.
Really? No reaction to that?
I get it. It's not funny, but
I like Clodsire. It's a good boy.
Yeah, no, but it was the quick claw that really. Anyway, it was partially because it was a negative speed boosting nature, but I wasn't gonna trade out my you have to learn to accept imperfections in people and Pokemon. So my Clodsire was perfect, just the way he is. Sorry, just the way she is. Skellydirge, Veluza, Lokix, Kilowattrel, and Cetitan.
That's a pretty good spread. I'll go next. Mine was Tinkerton, which should I give the nicknames along with them, or should I just go through the list?
If you want to
nickname them as well.
Yeah, so Clubber the Tinkerton, Josuke the Quaxaval, Blaze the Meowscarada, Sub-Zero the Baxcalibur. My favorite name on this list is Vankoff the Graphii, and Pyroman.exe the Armor Rogue.
Okay, those are all, some of those were good, better nicknames than others. I'll be honest with you. But for me, my team, I had an Iron Treads, I got Garganical, however you pronounce that, and Bolivia, Lokix, Veluza, and Skellidirge.
So I was going to ask at one point, because the first time I saw this, I was like, how the fuck did you get an Iron Treads before the Elite Four? And then I kind of ran into that because you can actually run into the Titan Pokemon and catch them for the Elite Four.
Yeah, you do. That's how I got Iron Treads, and I thought that was fucking sick. I didn't realize that they had very high stat distributions. So
yeah, no, the Titans are very good.
Yeah, and because Iron Treads is always my lowest leveled Pokemon, I always had it number 1. It just fucking bulldozed everything. Not that I felt bad about it, because if I sent out another Pokemon, it probably would have bulldozed them as well. But it's literally, and because it's a Steel type as well, I'd take like 10 damage on a hit. KO.
I had Tinkerton as my spike setup, because they can just learn spikes through TMs, and also being Steel Fairy type, they just kind of survive a lot of things and can dish out a lot of damage.
Dish out a lot of damage specifically to Corviknights.
Yeah. Have you seen the Corviknight Defense Force coming out to go, actually, no, Tinkerton would be really bad against a Corviknight competitively?
It would, yeah, no. It's right. Like...
it is, but go touch grass.
No.
Go touch grass types.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this game. It's a shame there's nothing really to do in the post game, but be like that. I still need to go back.
That's kind of where I'm leaning as well. Like, I really like this game, and the lack of a post game and the performance issues kind of hurt it for me. Early on in the game, I was getting headaches playing this game. The bad frame rate really hurt me.
Really? Like actual physical headaches?
Yeah, like actual physical headaches.
What the fuck? Touch grass, man. There was that sort of that memory bleeding or whatever it was called. And
I was reading if you leave the game on too long, or you leave it in rest mode, it can make the frame rate even worse. So every time I was done for the day, or even done for a small 1 hour session, I'd turn the game off just to avoid the memory leak.
Well, we're basically at the end of the spoiler cast, which is good given how long we've been talking about Pokemon. But
to round us off, Patrick, give us your full overall thoughts.
That's
Steve
what
just did.
Why don't we just take what's left of Steve's 55 seconds from the start of this and just sort of wrap it up with a bow after we've tripped down memory lane. What our final overall thoughts are. My overall thoughts. This is either. So I still think Oras is my favorite Pokemon game. This is probably my second favorite Pokemon game. I played it almost entirely docked, almost entirely without sound as well. I plugged sound in for particular parts.
You're actually missing out because this OST is really good.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's just an unfortunate limitation of how I play Switch.
Yeah.
But so even despite that, really enjoyed the sound. I only had out of all the hours I played, which I think is in the 30s at the moment. It's been a while since I played it, so I don't have an up-to-date hour count, but I'm pretty sure it's in the 30s, and I've only had 2 crashes. And yes, I've had frame rate hits and performance issues and other bits and pieces, but nothing that's actually taken away from the experience. Most of the detriments to my experience have been me going, Game Freak, why did you design the game like this? So overall, I would recommend this to friends that are looking to play Pokemon. I have recommended this to friends that are contemplating buying it. I maybe controversially was happy paying full price for it. despite the performance issues and everything else. I'm not going to defend Game Freak as to how shitty the state of release was for this game, but at least since we've played it and stuff, Game Freak themselves have come out and said, yeah, this wasn't acceptable. We are working to patch it and make it better. So good to see on that front.
Yeah, patch culture.
Yeah,
yes. It
would be better if it wasn't just like, it'd be better if this was before they released it rather than afterwards, because a lot of this should have been picked up beforehand. Anyway, but I really liked a lot of what they did. As I said, some of the stuff that I didn't like wasn't that detrimental to my experience. There's still a laundry list of things that I wish they would add. The top of that list is still voice acting, but overall, if Oras sits at a 9.5 or even a 10 out of 10 as a game for me, I don't think I can ever give it a 10 because Battle Frontier where, but if Oras sits at a 9.5, I'd, with all the issues, probably still give this as 8.5 to 9. And I am very happy with it. And it's been really cool seeing that all of the stuff that I wanted in a Pokemon game after playing Pokemon Legends Arceus and how close that got, that this game got so much closer. And that hopefully, if this is the direction that they're taking the series in, that they push even closer to what I will hopefully come out with the next one and say, this is a game on par with Oras, because to me, that's still the benchmark.
Yeah.
Saif, any final thoughts from you?
Okay, I'm so glad you went to me because I feel like Steve's going to end this on a positive note, and I'm going to actually be mean with my score. So, in going...
7 out of 10, too much water. Thanks, Saif. Steve, what about you?
So
if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything else at all.
Yeah, true.
I agree that this is up there for some of the best Pokemon games. Like that fourth act, that fourth storyline is some of the best writing that Pokemon's had since Gen 5, I feel. The terrestrialization mechanic is a lot of fun. Like, it's causing so much of a headache in the competitive scene, but I don't care about the competitive scene.
No. I'm glad.
Yeah, no, it's such a good thing, and it's that extra bit of spice that the games kind of like. Since they've been doing gimmicks, this is like the right spice to spice up with the gimmicks. Running around the world's a lot of fun. The story and characters are great. I love all the characters in this. I love the gym leaders and the Elite Four. The Pokedex is one of the best Pokedexes in the series. It's just a shame that there's the quality of life stuff like voice acting and the legendary markers not existing hold it back. The technical issues that physically actually hurt me hold it back. So I want to in terms of game quality, I want to give this like an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10, but I'm going to bring it all the way down to a 5 out of 10 for all those things that they did this on, and just tech issues being in a state that is totally unacceptable.
So let's say they fix just the tech issues. There's still the same quality of life issues, no legendary markers or that. If they just make the tech side better, what would that change your score to?
Probably a 9 out of 10.
And so on the back of it being 5 out of 10, were you happy paying full price? And if not, what price would you have been happy with paying for this?
I'm still happy paying full price for this, and having gone through it at release, I think just the experience that this...
happy paying full price for a game you gave 5 out of 10 to? Steve, you want to like hand some copium to Seth real quick?
Yeah, it definitely does feel like that.
It's all the experience stuff that's in the game itself that made it worth paying for. Like the characters, the story, the gameplay, all of that does come up together to make it worth it. It's just, God, it released in such a bad state that I have to be mean.
The game really made you feel like Arvin's dead dad or mom.
Yes.
More
like it made me feel like a deadbeat parent.
Yeah. Well, I honestly don't think the performance issues are that bad. Like, seeing all of it happen online and stuff was, I had a couple of friends be like, like, should I actually get this? Because I was quite upfront with bragging to my friends that I took the day off work to play this game.
Did you brag to work about it?
I told my manager a game was coming out, and she asked me what game, and I was like, the new Pokemon game, and he's like, and I'm like, see you later, why'd you ask? And a lot of my friends like, I'm seeing a lot of stuff online, how does it actually run? And like, I thought there's like a lot of slowdown, maybe because I played Arceus at the start of the year, I was sort of half expecting it, to be honest. And the big question for me is rather, is it a problem with the Switch and it not being able to handle it, which is unlikely because you got games like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which came out and Breath of the Wild, which came out a fair while ago.
But I think that, sorry to interrupt, but I think being a Pokemon game where they have to render in all these Pokemon adds on top of like what would normally open world game would handle.
You took the words out of my mouth. So I was going to say like maybe it's Game Freak being lazy, but then at the same time, the time and attention to detail they've put into the actual Pokemon models themselves and how much of that is actually on screen at the same time. It just might be one of those things, just it's a bit of both. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm, as a general rule of thumb, I'm not really a big fan of open world games. I find them a semi-lazy because it's just sort of an open environment. Do what you want. It's your choice. Like, no, you're the game. You tell me what to do, big fella. It's unfortunate the gym leaders don't scale, so you can sort of go in the wrong area. But then at the same time, if you're in the wrong area, everything throttles you. So you're like, okay, I'm just not going to go to that area. The frame rate issues are pretty rough. It sort of does knock it down a little bit for me. I did have one game crash, but with the autosave, it happens there's saving all the time, so I didn't really lose any progress. It does feel like that post game is missing a bit, but not really enough for me to sort of really care about it. So I reckon it's an 8. The game's there, it's really good. Some people got more graphical performance issues than I did. I was playing it docked, so maybe that sort of helped me.
I was also playing it docked for the record.
Yeah, it just needed that bit of extra polish, but the extra polish for me is sort of icing on the cake rather than the cake itself being good.
You mean a condiment on the sandwich? You know, if we're
of course,
using,
sorry, a nice ham
speak.
Yeah, it's a ham sandwich, but the polish would be the cheese and ham sandwich. Where do you reckon they get ham from? Sorry,
Champagne, jam and cheese. Oh yeah, we never talked about that, but the fact that ham is canonically in the game. I have to assume Lechonk, and that makes me sad.
I think they actually canonically show that, Pokemon are just used as food every now and then.
Well, I
know that with Magikarp gets eaten all the time and stuff, but it's just like you have everything you need to build what would basically be a Big Mac in Spain. What do you kill?
Yeah, it definitely does feel like there are some things missing, like voice acting. Like there are those CG scenes at the start and at the end.
Those CG scenes are the worst offenders about needing voice acting.
Yeah, like the characters' mouths are moving. Like it definitely feels like as if there was voice acting and they just didn't put it in. It's very, very strange. But at the same time, I didn't expect voice acting. So I'm not going to order a Big Mac and then complain when it doesn't have chicken on it. If it did have chicken on it, fantastic. But I didn't expect it. So there's so many times your hopes can get dashed. So saying that, I'd even say it's probably my favorite Pokemon game. So I'd probably give it 9, depending on the DLC that comes out, and then I'll sort of take it as a whole package because I thought the DLC
when you finally get the last 20% of the map.
Yeah, I know. But I thought the DLC for Sword and Shield was fucking disappointing as shit, and that really impacted the overall experience of the game for me. So as much as I fucking hate to say it, because I shouldn't be hedging my bets on DLC that may or even may not come out, but as it stands, the base game, 9 out of 10. Probably my favorite. Until they do a black and white remake, then let's come back and talk.
Hold on, Patrick, you also gave it a 9 out of 10, right?
It was floating between 8.5 and 9.
Okay, let's round it up to 9.
Only round up. No half marks here. Man, we're not going to count your marks, F, because it's the outlier.
It's not statistically significant.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Josh didn't like this game. That's why I wish he was here, because I get the feeling we would have just been yelling at him for fucking 4 hours.
Well, I mean, like, the thing with Josh is that Josh really liked it and then really didn't, and I want to know what changed on his path and on his descent into madness.
Yeah, like that first day, like he was literally like the message he was sending. I thought
in
like
the
he was
first 10 minutes, by the way, which is where you're just walking.
He hadn't done anything. He's, well, this is the best Pokemon game ever. Blah! And I'm sitting there because I stayed up until midnight to play it, and I'm like, what have you done? Like, how did you get it early, man? Like, what's going on? So yeah, I'd like to see that turning point. I reckon it was the bugs for him.
I reckon he just
like
got bored halfway through. I reckon it was that same thing you have where it's like, oh, open world, do whatever you want. And at first it was like, oh, this is really cool. And then he got bored halfway through.
So this is harping back to like 3 or 4 episodes ago. And I think about it all the fucking time, Pat, when you said games that let me use my imagination are bad because I have no imagination. It's that. I think about it all the fucking time. Every time I boot up Animal Crossing to do my fucking chores, I'm like, oh, I'm sure everybody loves this game. It's not for me. And maybe that's because it gives you too much choice. I don't like it. Tell me what to do. I like being micromanaged. Micromanage me, daddy.
So the official FTL average ranking for this game is 7.6 out of 10.
7.6. But it do be like that. That's a pass mark.
7.6 out of 10 had just enough water.
Actually, this game didn't have a lot of water, though. It was all on the coast. There was a couple of rivers in the middle.
Yeah, you actually had to go out of your way to go to water because it was like basically a circle of land and then an ocean around you.
But then every time you entered the water, Veluza from across the map was like, I've just popped in and I'm about to smack a bitch.
Literally.
Bolton Veluza.
Oh, that's right. That was funny as well.
I fucking love Kofu. Kofu was my second favorite gym leader.
Yeah, he was true.
Right, well, I think that concludes the
Wait.
first and only.
No, don't
Pokemon.
say only. Maybe for Pokemon.
Only for now.
Only for now. Maybe there's another spoiler cast in the future. Depends on if there's ever a game that releases where all four of us are like, yeah, I'm getting that day one.
Or if it's Need for Speed Unbound and I accidentally talk for long enough for the four of us.
Accidentally. After you talking about it, I'm very close to getting it. You simultaneously turn me off it and turn me on it at the same time. I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
So fun facts, Patrick. I actually went through and tried to remove every instance of you referring back to Need for Speed in that last episode.
Did Saif succeed? Let us know in the comments. It sounded like you were about to say something else.
No, I didn't have anything else to say.
Yeah, okay, cool. Hopefully this gives you a perhaps slightly too in-depth look, but we'll try and timestamp stuff together that way. I don't know why I'm explaining this at the tail end because you probably just listened through everything, but thank you so much for listening. It would be really cool to get people's feedback on this sort of spoiler-casty format because this is quite a bit of a departure from the regular scheduled programming. We will be back to regular scheduled programming next week. We got one more episode, right? Before
next week, and then we take a 2-week break for Christmas.
Next week before we take a break for Christmas. So back to the usual order of things next week. But at least until then, we won't do a what's in store next week because we're amazing enough to even get this far. And you know what? Talking about what's up next week sounds like it's part of the regularly scheduled programming, which of course this is not. So at least until we resume with a standard garden variety episode of Fast Travel Lounge, thank you so much for joining us on this extra special faster travel through the lounge. I've been Patrick. I've been joined by Saif and Steve. And until next time, wow, already screwed up the outro. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Happy birthday, Netherlands football team. Can't believe you won the World Cup.